This is Lesley Stump, a quiet man who lived alone when the outbreak took place in Knox County. He hit the road in his trusty RV that he and his late wife used to take on trips up to Lake Superior. Join me on this journey of survival, of patience, of dehydrated meat sticks and apocalypse toilet water. The story of Mr. Lesley Stump, my longest living character, at a grand total of one sweet, blissful month in hell. Hello, Lesley. How are we today? You spawned in the middle of nowhere with our trusty RV. What should we call you? Rod the RV. Rod. Upon inspection, Lesley Stump realises that he has packed absolutely nothing of any use whatsoever in his RV. He can't really be blamed. There are bloodthirsty Kentuckans roaming the streets. My guy, Mr. Stump, is a bit distracted. Have a look at the condition of our vehicle, shall we, Lesley? What's old Rod got under the hood? Rod is in a decent condition, but if they're going to survive for a month, they'll need more fuel, tools to do repairs with, food, water, and a lot more besides. Stump gets his bearings and then heads out onto the road for the first day's adventure. While Stump drives up the road, I'll tell you about the world he lives in and the body he inhabits. We're playing on insanely rare loot 6 months later with high zombie population, no respawning. There are a bunch of mods installed. You can see the full list below. Anyway, back to the road. Ah yes, just a few zombies here then. Now my issue is that I don't currently have a weapon, and there are zombies all over the place. So come on then, Lesley. This guy's got something on him. Lesley is not going to get chomped this early. He plays it smart and runs from the group. Surviving the apocalypse isn't that hard, really. Just run, survive, live to another day. Just a few more zombies. It is only once he's inside one of the trailers that Lesley remembers that he does have a wrench in his trousers. He's a little forgetful, our sweet Stump. Just realised we had a wrench on us the whole time that we could have used. And some jerky in your pocket. Yes, please. Is that a dehydrated meat stick in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Ah yes, I forgot. Lesley is a sneezy man. A sneezy little man. Lesley has pretty severe allergies. His wife always used to tease him about his runny nose. That dribbly nose will almost get him eaten several times over the next month. Absolutely zero loot. Casual duffel bag. Yes, please. It is mid-afternoon before Lesley returns to the RV. Organising this cramped, smelly little place is going to be a bit of a nightmare. For now, Lesley just stuffs everything into the fridge like a real useless man. Then he's off out again to loot some buildings, kill some zombies, and rummage around in the dirt for some goodies. At 6 PM in the dying evening light, he forages in the nearby woods. He gets some thistles for tea and soup. The thorns prick his hands, but at least it's not a zombie bite. You get a lot of perspective when there's an apocalypse. The little things now mean very little indeed. Lesley returns again to the RV and has some food and reads a book before bed. And so ends the first day of Lesley Stump's adventure. On day number 2, it's much the same for little old Stump. He loot, he stab, he eat, he plonky. A plonky, is it? What is plonky? Got ourselves a little VHS to watch there. Lesley settles into a comfortable routine. Park the RV up, loot the nearby area, and return for afternoon snacks. It's a sort of dreamy existence. As he's looting one building, an alarm goes off and the zombies start to shamble towards him. Lesley, not a coward but a relatively smart man, simply walks away. As he leaves the trailer park, he comes across a snail of ruined cars on the highway, including a fire truck with an axe in the back. Sweet find, Stump. An axe. Perfect. Stump weaves Rod in and out between the wrecked cars and heads to the highway rest stop just up ahead. There are zombies everywhere, which isn't ideal. He uses Rod's gorgeous honker to pull the zombies up the road. There are still a few zombies, which he leads into the woods. Once the area is clear enough, he sneaks into the back of Rod, has some tea, reads a book, and calls it a wrap on day number 2. On day 3, Lesley loots the gas station and finds chocolates and sweets galore, and some cigarettes behind the counter. That's the other thing about the apocalypse. There are no dentists, no doctors, nobody over your shoulder. Lesley Stump can eat what the hell he wants. He checks out some of the nearby cars but doesn't find anything too special, then investigates the clothing outlet and spiffos. There's a hammer in the spiffo back room and he yoinks all the ketchup off the tables before heading back to the RV. He drops off his loot and sets course for the open road. weaving around hordes of the undead. Lesley pulls up a side road, which leads to a summer camp he used to visit when he was much younger, and finds the area quiet, but there are a few happy campers still shambling around. Lesley leads most of them into the woods, then tries to sleep. He is awoken in the middle of the night by an idiot banging on the window. He leaps from the RV in the dark and rain and starts smashing the zombies to pieces. It is a little bit hairy. Once those zombies are dispatched, he turns on the lights to illuminate the building and investigates what might be inside. He takes a moment to relax out of the rain, then heads out into the woods. Then he sneezes.
One sneeze, and the whole town comes out to greet you. In the aftermath of the sneezing slaughter of 1993, Mr. Stump goes foraging again in the rain. What is that? Crazy looking caterpillar. He remembers that he does have an umbrella, and although he is already quite wet, he grabs it from the RV. Oh, didn't see you. The rain is thick and the trees shudder. Lesley starts to feel a little afraid in the dark woods. What was that? I knew there was a zombie. What are you doing out here? Foraging completed, it's time for Lesley to keep on moving. Oh, here's everyone. Hello. Wow, there's a lot of zombies here. He uses rod to lure the zombies up the road and then loops back around and creeps towards the buildings. There is a factory he has his eyes on, tools and weapons and all kinds of other goodies. It's this one guy's very unlucky day. You just happen to have wandered straight into my trap, little man. I'm very sorry. Oh, is that a tanker full of whiskey? Oh, Lesley. Machete. Jesus, that made me jump. I even knew he was there. Still made me jump out of my skin. Your jumper is hideous, ma'am. Your diet is terrible, Lesley Stump. You're eating nothing but gummy bears and crisps. Lesley stuffs his face with sweeties before bed. He's going to need some other types of food very soon. Oh, so many lollipops and stuff. It's not really... Let's have some plonkies instead for breakfast, Lesley. Some delicious plonky. And a lollipop. You are one thirsty boy, Lesley Stump. One last look at that gas station, I think. Just to see if there's any more snacks there. And then we're going to go into town to grab some books. I think is the plan. You heard the man. His plan is to loop the little gas station for more delicious lollipops. Then head into the nearby town for books. Lesley must learn everything he can. There are a few zombies here and there, but mostly the tactic of luring the zombies up the road with rod has been largely successful. There's that good shit. Eating tortilla chips in the ladies' bathroom. Lesley, you're a little creep. Oh, it's the men's bathroom. Never mind. Let's get that word search, because you are a miserable little man, Lesley. You brought me some antidepressants. Thank you, I love you. Might as well check out this burger shop. Oh, actually quite a lot of zombies there. Maybe not. There's probably nothing there that's really worth it. I think the next task is to drive a little bit closer to town. Or maybe we could spend one more night here. Just play it safe. There's no rush. Lesley is a little bit confused. He's not entirely sure what to do with himself next. He decides on attacking the next set of storage units up the road, but he doesn't really find anything of any use. Seems like the people of Kentucky keep nothing but plastic chairs and shovels in their storage units. While rummaging in his duffel bag, he finds a pair of black underpants. We're not sure why Lesley has picked those up, but perhaps it is a little lonely in the back of the smelly RV. Lesley, why did you pick up those underpants? You little strange man, Lesley. Little lollipop for little lollipop before bed, Lesley. Lesley. So our plan of action is to head up here through these trees, I think, and park up here behind the church. That's going to be our launching off point to loot. into West Point. All my main goal really is for the bookshop, which is here. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Okay, slight change of plans. It's actually fenced off there, which is kind of annoying. But we'll go round, it's fine.
There is an old saying, no plan ever really goes to plan in Project Zomboid. Lesley skirts the edge of West Point looking for a safer spot to stop.
Just a few behind me as well, that's fine. Clear them out. Let's see what you got, Lesley.
Lesley slices his way through the population of West Point with his trusty machete. His blade is sharp and it is very satisfying. Lesley makes a plan. There's a hotel here that he can use as a safe passage through the streets of West Point. But first he needs to deal with the trapped citizens. He paints the hallway red, like that famous scene in The Shining. No creepy twins here though, just a mad Lesley Stump and a blood red machete. With the hotel mostly clear, he works his way through the streets to the food market, and then... Lesley sneezed. Even the sneakiest man, our sneaky Lesley Stump, is undone by an ill-timed sneeze. He sneaks into some sort of storage space and begins looting. Overconfidence almost gets our man Mr. Stump killed again. No overconfidence in Project Zomboid. The zombies burst through the garage door. It's only with some smart twisting and turning that he manages to escape at all.
Okay, that was a little bit close.
There are now rather a lot of zombies chasing him, and he decides to go all in, starting to scream his little lungs out to attract all the zombies after him. The stench is unbearable. An entire stinky population of Kentuckans falling apart in the street. The place smelled bad enough in fertilizing season, but this was different gravy. Stinky, bloody gravy. Lesley retches a little. He lures the zombies into the woods and then doubles back to loot some of the smaller houses on the outskirts of town, including what he thinks is a survivor house.
Survivor house, I think. Teeming with zombies. I like to think this is just a group of friends who got together at the end of the world and all turned into zombies together.
The survivor house has its own share of bounty, including some more salvaged weapons. Lesley continues looting nearby buildings with nothing really exquisite to tell you about, and gets back to the RV at around 4:30. It's been a long old day and Lesley treats himself to a book and some snacks. Later in the evening, it appears Lesley has begun talking to himself, God or some other zomboid entity.
Why are you pushing? Lesley? You okay?
With his obviously troubled mind, Lesley watches television in the warmth of the RV. The dulcet tones of the presenter's voice are warming like a hug. It reminds him a little bit of his childhood. He gets some sleep, some very well-needed sleep. Day 7 is a day of slaughter. He slaughters his way through the Hotel of Blood, then slaughters every zombie scumbag outside the food market, loots the hardware shop where he does in the end find a saw, slaughters his way through the streets of West Point, yoinks an espresso machine from the coffee shop and returns to his beautiful smelly RV.
This hallway is disgusting, very Shining-esque. Highway of hell, our way in and out of the city. Put the underpants on the badger. Okay, Lesley.
It's been a long week, and to celebrate 7 days of being alive, Lesley cooks himself a black bean stew with bouillon.
Black bean stew with bouillon. Oh, Lesley, that sounds quite delicious.
Smoke next to the sexy badger. He smokes a cigarette and reflects on the journey so far, and he knows full well that it is only just the beginning. The feel of the wind on his beard, the touch of a beautiful badger, and the soft thump of Rod the RV's wheels on the old tarmac roads.
What kind of heathen keeps their chips in the fridge? Right, one last journey to the bookshop. Then we will finally leave West Point.
Lesley's plan today is simple. Raid West Point, get some tasty grub, tinned goods preferably, and stock up on enough books to turn himself into the apocalypse Aristotle.
Once more into the hallway of death.
As he slices and dices his way through the crowds outside the Gigamart, Lesley realises he has already become distracted. The golden aisles of the shop beckon him forwards, treasures unknown on those mystical shelves, beans and chips and plonkies, maybe some fresh underwear tucked away in a corner, or a brand new plushie for the back of Rod.
That is literally Abraham Lincoln the zombie. Let's try and sneak around the back, I think. Just a few here. Jesus. John Wick. He's got a stack of money. Gangster. Modjeska. Just a quick aside here about Modjeska. This stuff looks delicious and I've got no idea what it is. A quick Google tells me it's marshmallow dipped in caramel. First made in 1818, Louisville, Kentucky, funnily enough, by Anton Busath, named after a famous Shakespearean actor called Helena Modjeska. Anton was a confectionery simp. I love it. I love you, Project Zomboid. Lesley is going to devour those Modjeskas in Lady Helena's honour. Ah yes, the cheese sandwich in the medical section. Everyone knows all you need is a cheese sandwich and you'll feel right as rain. After a successful looting run to Gigamart, Lesley takes a stroll back to the RV with a bag full of yummy, non-perishable food. He also picks up a water jug on the way. When we get back to the RV, I realise that at some point Lesley has taken his underwear off. Again, I'm not really sure when that happened or why, but it appears Lesley is a pretty odd little dude. Lesley keeps taking his underwear off when I'm not looking. Lesley. He prepares a big black bean soup for lunch, but he's got a bit of a tiny stomach because if he eats too much he gets sick. All those beans, all that soup. I definitely do not want to be in the back of this RV with Lesley. Oops, just ate a rather large soup. Well, he deserved it, okay? Rather than get himself into a muddle with zombies in the dark outside, Lesley takes the evening to chill out and read books until his bedtime. We're taking a very chill approach with Lesley because he doesn't want to die and I don't want him to die. Need some decorations in here, Lesley Stump. Your inside of the RV is looking a little worse for wear. It's not looking fantastic. Plenty of battery left. I was concerned because we've just been sitting in it, not driving for a while, that the battery would be down, but seems fine. On day 9, Lesley just drives the RV into the middle of town, ignoring all of that nonsense we were just talking about being careful. Something in the fog has got straight into his brain. As expected, things get a little hairy, a little scary. But have no fear, Lesley Stump's machete is here. He cleaves his way through quite a lot of the town, has a small stop at a restaurant. No thanks. Not worth it. Zombies are lining up for the toilet in a very unsettling manner, so he says no thank you, and almost gets overrun in the bookshop trying to get a bookcase for his RV. Okay, with the books looted and the town growing thicker with zombies, he does a quick loop-de-loop around the buildings, then hops into the RV. It's time to get the hell out of West Point, at least for now. Another sledge. Don't need it, but there's one there. It's quite nice to know that. Lesley and Rod drive out of town, through the fields riddled with zombies like haunting scarecrows in the crops, then pull up to the river, where Lesley will spend the next couple of days. He washes himself in the cold water, then he goes foraging, on the hunt for anything Mother Earth will place in his hands. Then he hears the thud, thud, thud of the helicopter approaching. Okay, that's the helicopter. Let's get back to the RV. Think we might be safe out here. Not really sure how many zombies are out here, so should, in theory, be okay. That's what I'm thinking. Seems peaceful enough. Can't see any zombies through the trees. I think Lesley here has been very lucky with his timing, in as much as there is no zombies anywhere near him. Whilst the helicopter circles overhead. What are you looking at, Mr. Helicopter? Huh? Just a man and his RV. You're not going to come and help? No? Just going to watch from a distance? This might be good. It might draw some zombies away from the town. Lesley sits and watches the helicopter overhead. A beacon of humanity, the last purring machine, and they are absolutely no help to him whatsoever. He calls out, waves his arms, but the helicopter does a final pass and then disappears. He forages and at last finds 2 tree branches, then heads back to the RV for another delicious soup, black bean and lentil this time. Quite the little chef you are, Lesley. You have a bowl, Lesley. Why aren't you using the bowl? Just drinking directly from the goddamn pot. He reads like a maniac and then settles down on top of the sledgehammer and his best friend Badger to sleep. Day 10 is a fishing day. He uses a spear all morning. With 0 fishing skills, it goes about as well as expected. Nope. We didn't catch anything. He fishes for another 4 hours. It's very peaceful and his arm doesn't hurt at all. Weirdly. A small trout. Our first catch, Les. Some delicious trout. He prepares trout soup with black beans for a late lunch. Lesley truly is living the life of a gourmand. Sneezed into his soup. He forages, he reads. Day 10 is a day of peace. Lesley is calm out by the river. Of course, life cannot go on this way. Not forever. The road calls to him. Lesley. On day 11, he spends the morning cutting down trees to improve his carpentry skills. He builds muscle and connects with nature. Then he washes all the nature off him in the river. He makes a stir fry in the oven, of course, collects some water to boil it off the stove, and then read books before bed. Day 11 passes in a blur. On day 12, he reads, he cooks, he fish. Lesley has achieved inner human peace. He is at one with nature and a completely useless fisherman. We didn't catch any fish. We didn't catch a single fish today, Lesley. Then, as if he could hear me talking about him, he gets the mother load of all fish all at once. They squirm around in the duffel bag. Oh, we caught lots more fish that time. Whoa, so many fish. Shoes and socks. Did we fish those out of the river? How sinister. Alright, this is zombie apocalypse. There's probably all bits of body floating down the river. Well, we might need them someday, so let's just stick them in there. With the morbid thought of floating body parts, he falls asleep on the evening of day 12. Right, today we're back on the road. So for breakfast, you're going to have some tortilla chips today. No fancy lunch for you today, Les. Just a packet of chips to begin with. Day 13, some might call it an unlucky day, but this is the day that Lesley drives the RV down back towards the town. He parks up near the dock, then heads into town towards the school. He just wants to take a little look at the library. The school is infested with students and teachers and other ghouls, but there are books in the library and Lesley takes them all. He returns to the RV after a successful day looting and sits on a new chair underneath some new posters and takes it all in. What a sweet few days. No massive risks, just comfort. Comfort and fish. The warm belly of the RV. Day 14 is the start of a new adventure to the north, across wild farmlands and abandoned spooky houses. He begins by saying hello to a couple of park rangers. Hello there. Wonder what you're doing out here. A torch at last. Then stops in a farmhouse for a very, very cold bath. But it's not as cold as the river, so he doesn't mind. Nice. He washes his hair and growing beard. He catches a reflection of himself in the mirror. The road has not been kind to him over these past 2 weeks, but on he soldiers. He puts up a new shelf in the RV, finds a beautiful new summer hat, and a deck chair that he'll take with him on the road, just in case he finds a beach or something. The rest of the day is spent reading in the back of the RV after some dinner, of course. The van feels more cozy now, and there is a lot more room for goodies. It's day 15 and Lesley is heading out into the sticks to scavenge around through farmhouses and bash farmhands over the head. The RV is starting to feel real lovely inside and he is getting pretty looted. You can see here the path that Lesley has taken through West Point and the general direction he's going to head, out through those largely empty barren fields. He's going to be one sneezy man in all that dead corn. Endless dry cornfields. The first house he inspects is largely empty, but what does he expect? There ain't nobody out here, and anyone that was has long since decomposed into worm food in the back garden. The next house does have a couple of residents, and Lesley yoinks a lovely gore-covered shower cap for his next farmhouse bath. He stops for a peach lunch. Lesley feels like he has some duty to cave in the head of every wandering farmhand he finds, because this is their land, and they don't deserve that eternal punishment of forever wandering the fields of dead corn. He pulls up to a monstrous farmland mansion and admires it. It's the sort of house he always wanted to live in. In theory, he could live in it now, because there's nobody else here, but there's an RV down the road that would be very sad to see him go. Don't worry, Rod, we aren't leaving you. The whole house was silent, not even stirred. Nothing even stirred, not even a mouse, because the mouse was dead in a cupboard. What you got in your purty little shed?
An alarm goes off, but no zombies come calling, which just shows how empty it really is out here. In another house, one lurking bastard almost gets a nibble of him because he missed not one but 2 swings of the machete.
Jesus. Oh, Lesley. Being worn into a false sense of security. You almost got nibbled on there, mate.
Lesley plans the route further up the road. Down the road, he finds a stall of rotten vegetables that tease him, and he siphons some fuel from a wreck in the road. On he goes up the road to where he wants to spend the night, when he finds a logging truck with 4 dead loggers in it. What a horrible thought, all turning into zombies at the same time. He wonders who turned first. He parks up next to a little old cabin and reads books before bed.
Another morning. Good morning. How are you today, Lesley? Thinking about how frustrating it would be to crash this RV now, because it really is just my home on wheels. Right, we want to swing a left here, I think, so we can head into town. Whatever town this is. Oh, hello.
While Lesley is clearing out this accident in the road, I just want to mention that we haven't crashed Rod the RV a single time. Not one bump, not one scratch. Lesley is an excellent driver. Good stuff, little guy.
A trauma bag. I kind of want that. Sounds fun. Well, no, it doesn't. It sounds the opposite of fun. Sounds dramatic. But, oh, a scalpel. That's good. Just gonna have a cigarette in this car. I'm feeling a little anxious. Wouldn't you be feeling anxious, viewer, watcher, enjoyer of Lesley Stump's story? I would be feeling quite anxious. I do feel quite anxious, to be quite frank. That tree moved. It's just the wind. Calm down, Les. Ah, yes, we seem to be approaching a town. Oh. Yeah. That's a town, alright.
Lesley drives slowly into Doe Valley, a small private community that does have a few shops he wants to check out. There are a lot of zombies. Rather than fight all of them, Lesley just leads them away into the fields and ducks between the trees, holding in a sneeze on the way. He leads the zombies one way, then heads the other, into Doe Valley proper. He loots the community's gas station and finds a few useful scraps, including some more food, then heads down the road to see what else the valley has to offer.
He's so stealthy, but he just keeps sneezing.
Lesley loots through the shop and beats most of the customers to a pulp with his brand new trusty crowbar. Slower and less damage than a machete, but at least it doesn't break super fast. He picks up a plastic chair because he can't really be bothered walking all the way back to the RV.
Lesley's going to sleep on this small plastic chair in the toilet, but he has slept in worse places. Lesley is going to sit in complete silence and wait for him to get more sleepy. What on earth was all that?
On day 17, there was light. Lesley loots a bunch of the buildings in town, including the hardware shop and little food markets and other stuff. He's not even really sure what he's looking for, just more stuff, more things. He wants the RV to be cozy. The constant human struggle for things. Everyone loves things. Clutter. It is comforting. When he gets back to the RV, he makes a grand discovery. A totally life-changing discovery.
Oh my god, I've just realised there's a light switch. I've been living in perpetual darkness for 16 days because I didn't know there was a light switch. People are going to be screaming at me, Lesley, this is all your fault. How did you not notice it was there? Look at this, it looks incredible now, Lesley. You're crying out loud, man. Where's your focus? Where's your drive? Where's your attention? How did you not see the light switch there? You fool, Lesley Stump. You goddamn fool. I kind of like it in the dark. Yes. He shall live in the dark. Okay, well, now we know why I didn't turn the light on. It's because he's a little freak. He loves the darkness. I've got 2 hammers. We got too much stuff. We got too much stuff.
Too much stuff. Lesley has been tidying for most of the day and has started to go mad. But at least he loves the darkness. It's nothing to do with me. It's not my fault. It's not that I didn't know that they had a light switch there and I pressed it by accident when I was rearranging the shelves. Nothing like that. Lesley loves living in the dark because, like I said, he's a little freak. Little dark little gremlin, goblin creature. Okay, so they go up here. Knives in the top cupboard. Nothing could possibly go wrong. Just a little bit of reading, 40 minutes or so, okay? Sometimes I feel like Lesley's mother, forcing him to do his homework before bed. Read your goddamn book. Whoa, he woke up at 10:40. God, he's living like me, waking up at 11 o'clock and eating crisps for breakfast. What a legend. Okay, right, now I'm thinking we drive in to town, park over here, and then attack from the other angle. Lesley uses the gorgeous honker to lure the zombies out of Doe Valley and out into the fields. He promptly gets stuck in the middle of a wheat field. Lesley, do not lose Rod in the middle of a field. Come on, man. Focus. Need to be a little bit careful here not to get the RV stuck in the middle of a field. Lesley does eventually find a dirt track, but then comes to the realization the field he has been driving into is completely fenced off and then he'll need to turn around anyway. Fences everywhere. Oh my god, Lesley, excellent driving. Oh, okay, calm. Excellent work, Lesley, you big brain boy. As expected, the plan is pretty much a massive failure. Whatever it was I was trying to do seems to have largely failed, actually, completely failed. In fact, there just seems to be more zombies here now than there ever were, so... Right then, well, what a total failure. Lesley decides to cut his losses on Doe Valley. He hates that shit place anyway, and heads out onto the road once more. Destination? Riverside. Pretty busy out here in the countryside. Why are there so many people out here? Whoa, Lesley, what are you doing? I just lost control for a second there. Don't know what came over him. Lesley almost completely loses control and totals Rod the RV in a tree. Not entirely sure what happened there. Maybe I was scratching my head. Why is there so many people out here? Just hordes of zombies wandering the wastes. Look at them all. Don't read the map whilst you're driving, Lesley. Wow. Big drive. Let's see how she's doing under the hood. The hood is totally ruined and the battery is definitely on its way out, and so is the engine. Well, there is an auto shop up the road where I'm hoping we can make some repairs. It's a coffee machine. Trying to cook a fish and canned potato stir fry with a coffee machine, Lesley. Come on, I know it was a long drive, but get a grip, man. After a pretty wild day, Lesley reads a bit, then falls asleep with the light on. Because sometimes even grown men need to sleep with the light on, okay? It's totally normal, okay? Okay, careful now, Lesley. It's a foggy day, so we're going to drive very slowly, okay? Day 19 is a foggy mess, and Lesley drives slowly until he finds... Scenic Grove Mobile Home Park. Looks like it could be a little busy here. He dispatches a few of the Scenic Drive inhabitants, does a bit of work on Rod, then slowly and sneakily walks down the small rest stop area to get to the auto shop. The Zomboid gods do not smile upon him. The place is pretty much completely empty. Poor old Rod. No love. Not yet. Wow, nothing here really of any use. Police motorcycle helmet. I think that's pretty rare, isn't it? No metal sheets though, which is what I was looking for. He also loots the diner up the road, which offers no loot, but does almost get him bitten. Oh. Just lurking there. Once again, Lesley reads before bed because I tell him to, and so ends the next little chapter of his life. Pretty good so far, still healthy, still alive, learning all the time. He wakes up, has breakfast, then heads out to crack open some juicy garages. Not much inside, junk and trash and rubbish. How did you end up in there? A jockey. Lesley has always distrusted jockeys for one reason or another. There are a few more zombies that Lesley has to deal with, and then he stops for a little cigarette break, doing the old 360 spin around turn to make sure no one's going to creep up on him. Just a little cigarette, Les. Another zombie conga line to deal with, then it's on to the large factory and warehouse next door. This place gave Lesley the heebies, and he didn't want to spend too long there. It was very dark, smelled musty, and was full of echoing moans of zombies that he couldn't see. As the sun sets beautifully on this industrial park, Lesley makes his way back to the RV for a cool down. Wowee. Okay. Hey, it's been a long couple of days. One more factory to loot. We're good to go. Slowly thin out the crowds. Slow and steady, Lesley. Slow and steady. On day 21, the weather turns nasty with a grey storm. Lesley is busy busying himself by slowly and sneakily taking out the crowds, and he does a big sneeze. Yeah, I figured out, by the way, gang, you can muffle a sneeze with a tissue, but it needs to be equipped as your secondary. Young Lesley here is enjoying the crowbar right now, and apparently he is incapable of sneezing into a tissue while holding the crowbar. You can see the chaos the sneeze caused here. The sneeze. Very loud sneeze. He dispatches the zombies that are attracted by his dribbly nose, then it's into another spooky factory. Lesley does not like the cold interior spaces, the gloomy dark. He wants nothing but the fresh open road, so he leaves. This place is unsettling. I would like to leave, I think. Lesley is not enjoying his time in the factory. It's dark, it's spooky. I think I should just leave. Let's get out of here. Should we check out one or two of these cabins? I won't loot them all because there's probably not much there, but poke our head in, see what the zombie count's like. He decides to check out the caravan park and stumbles across all kinds of debauchery, including the fairly rare Hotties magazine that Lesley will save for a lonely day with Mrs. Badger in the back of Rod the RV. We'll read that later, won't we, Lesley? Let's have a snack. 6 o'clock, so we can probably spend the night here. One last day. Let's cook something up. Ketchup and rice. Ketchup rice. Delicious. Wowee, Lesley, good job, buddy. Been through a lot, I know. Keep on keeping on. On day 22, it's time to hit the junkyard. Where else to become a junk-wrapped vehicle modifying badass than Riverside's very own junkyard? First, he needs to clear out a few zombies, and he stumbles across a fellow survivor. Well, ex-survivor. The dead zombie has some treats for him. Wow. Eat a cheese sandwich, thank you for this blessing. Rest in peace. Is it a crime to steal a dead man's sandwich, to suck on a dead man's butter stick, to wear his clothes? Lesley does not think so. He pulls into the junkyard, which will become his home for a few days, to live like Stig of the Dump, a hairy man who loves to rummage through trash. It appears the dead zombie he killed was a bounty hunter from 1880, the weird world of Project Zomboid. Lesley shrugs it off. He'll save those pictures underneath his pillow. Lesley begins his work in the junkyard in a terrible manner. He smashes a window with his elbow and cuts himself. Genius stuff, Les. Genius. You idiot, Lesley. You fool. Got your arm on that car. Then, to make matters even better, Lesley realises he doesn't have a jack, meaning any tyre maintenance, brake changing or anything else wheel related isn't going to be possible. Do I not have a jack? How do I not have a jack? It's here that Lesley also comes to the realisation that he's missing the Intermediate Mechanics magazine, which will allow him to do work on heavy-duty vehicles. Considering Rod the RV is certainly heavy-duty, that magazine is going to be crucial. So begins the epic quest to find that magazine, which might just take us the rest of the 100 days. So I can uninstall from standards, because I know the recipe, but I don't have the high enough thing, so I can use my wrench to uninstall that stuff. Good job, Lesley, using your brain. Lesley is mumbling to himself, going slightly mad in the red-hot blazing white heat of the junkyard and all that bubbling metal. He takes out some madness and anger on nearby zombies with his poking stick. Poke, poke. The rest of day 22 and the vast majority of day 23, Lesley spends heads down underneath car bonnets, tinkering and twiddling with bits of hot metal. It's hot, stuffy work. At the end of day 23, he settles down in the cool RV to listen to the warming tones of a cooking VHS. Lesley toys with the idea of reading hotties, but he reckons he should save it for a more pressing situation. On day 24, just for a small change of pace, Lesley ventures just gently into Riverside, gives it a little peck on the cheek by visiting the bar and acquiring some delicious beer and liquor. Beer. Oh yeah. On day 25, he ventures just a little further into Riverside, a proper smooch, looting a little shop and checking out the useless shitty little police station that had absolutely nothing of use inside. His main goal of all this roaming is to get to the VHS shop for some more sweet voices for the empty spaces in his head. He wants to sit in the TV's light and soak it all up. Step by step, I could go to the VHS shop right now, but I've died too many times like that before, so I'm just going to walk back to the van. He sleeps until 12 o'clock the next day, day 26. Fair enough, it was a big old day yesterday. Then continues to try and level up his mechanic skill. It's an arduous process, though he finds comfort in the grease and oil of these mouldy old engines. A few zombies turn up that he has to deal with, then it's back to the RV for a bit of light reading before bed. This time with the light on. On day 27, I'm not kidding you, absolutely nothing happened. I didn't even speak in the recording for about 30 minutes. Just Lesley and his cars. Complete silence. The man finds comfort in the manual toil. His hands are already crusty and worn. On day 28, because the junkyard is beginning to feel like a prison, Lesley jumps into the RV and drives straight into the middle of town. He has a habit of doing this. Just as he's reversing, the expected finally happens. First crash of the goddamn season there, series. Checking out the post office for some post. No, just kidding, for the magazines and books. The post office storeroom has a bunch of stuff in it, some useful, some useless, but no intermediate mechanics magazine. So he heads on down the riverside to see what other treasures this little town holds. There is nothing in this town, nada niente, just a bunch of shambling riverside folk who he has to lead up the main road and out of town. The stench in the air is absolutely disgusting. It smells like someone had turned the entire town into porridge and then left it on the side for 3 hot summer months. Did I leave my cooking pot on the floor? After leading the zombies out of town, he returns to the RV and realises that he has left his cooking pot on the floor in the junkyard. He was using it to collect rainwater. Thankfully, he still has the means to make a delicious meal. White wine and canned corned beef pasta with ketchup. What a way to celebrate 1 month being alive. Truly incredible. The longest any single one of my characters has survived. Lesley goddamn Stump. What a legend. You might realise here that we're apparently missing 2 days of Lesley's life. This is my first time doing this and I must have miscounted. Maths is not my strong point and neither is it Lesley's. Oh well, here is Lesley's 1 month celebration. He kisses those 2 sweet missing days goodbye, sits down on a deck chair, sort of, not really, and watches the river flow calmly by. He also drinks an entire bottle of white wine because goddamn he has earned it. He is my longest living character at this point and I have grown extremely fond of him. Sweet, sweet Lesley Stump. Little bit drunk, little bit happy. Lesley Stump has survived an entire month. All with the help of his trusty RV, of course. Survived for 1 month. Well done, Lesley. We return with Lesley on day 31 of his 100-day Nomad adventure. Today's quest is to find a jack. He walks 10 meters out the door of Rod the RV and finds one immediately. Sometimes Lady Zomboid just provides. Hello Jack, my name's Lesley, he whispers to its yellow metal sheeny body. Mostly just sort of looking for various scraps today. The main aim really actually is to find a jack, and I'm kind of thinking maybe hopefully in one of these cars. Ah, a jack. That is actually kind of crazy that I found one that quickly. That went really well to plan. I thought that was going to be some whole epic adventure, and we already found one. So, what an excellent start. The inside of the RV is starting to smell pretty bad, and it's very, very cluttered. Lesley has to do something about it. First of all, though, he's just going to loot some of these little buildings to see what he can find. Why not? Seem to have attracted some attention here. Hello? Hello, bathrobe lady. Everything here is rotten. Rotten bass, rotten trout, chocolate donut, rotten. Oh, Lesley. I'm sorry. All the rotten food makes Lesley a very sad man. He longs for the soft squishiness of a jam donut gently exploding in his mouth, or the soft cream cheese of a pie melting away on his tongue. Instead, he must eat more beans. Lesley grabs some more metal shelves from the sports shop, but he doesn't really know where they're going to go. He does get distracted first, of course. Red, frilly underpants. Lesley, there are zombies' underwear. They're not going to be particularly nice, you little freak. Hey, yo, get away from my van. Wow, it's getting real uncomfy there, Lesley. Not gonna lie. Pretty uncomfortable. He just puts the metal shelves on his bed. Yeah, so comfortable in your bed with your badger, your dolls, and your metal shelves, and your sledgehammer, and your everything else. It's so messy in here, Lesley. I'd love a lamp, you know. Lamp. I love a lamp. I want a lamp. After a spot more looting, he heads back to the RV, has some scrub diddly yumptious dinner, and then falls asleep on a pile of shit. On day 32, Lesley is going to go to the VHS shop to see what treasures he can unearth. First of all, though, he has to weasel his way through a couple of buildings. What has happened in here? Money all over the floor. Just going around town, disassembling all the radios. Ooh, what a beauty. Absolute specimen. Handsome, handsome car. So the tissue does work. I was being an idiot. Thank you, sweet commenters. Sad zombie clown. That balloon has stayed inflated for a very long time. Hello. Oh god. Oh god. That was brutal. The video shop is the place that I'm keen on getting a look at. Lesley does indeed loot the VHS shop and walks away with a duffel bag full to the brim with VHS, a bit like me in the local Blockbuster circa 2001 with a bag full of PS2 demo discs. I do keep thinking about that big old bus, you know, like renovating the inside of that bus, getting rid of all the seats, moving all our stuff inside there. We'd have so much more room, you know? We would have to ditch Rod the RV, which does make me feel a bit sick, to be honest. Or maybe not. Haha, we got a balloon. Wicked. Cool. Organising the RV is stressing him out a little bit, so just have a cig, mate. If we had the bus, we could so much more room. But just can I connect the stuff to the inside of a bus? I mean, what you've made here is a tuna stir fry where you've just put fish into a lot of oil and fat. Which, I mean, honestly sounds delicious, Lesley, so don't listen to me. Do what you want. Eat what you want. Cook what you want. Lesley Stump is having an internal debate about whether or not to renovate the bus in the junkyard. Although it does have more space, it was in pretty bad condition, and he's not entirely sure if he can transport the fridge, oven and TV over there. He decides he will go and have one last look at it before leaving town. First things first, though, on day 33, in man's unquenchable desire to possess more things, Lesley backs up the RV and connects the trailer in the parking lot. Huzzah, that's 250 kilograms of weight extra for books and clothes and metal and all sorts of treasure. Nice, we have a trailer, man. That's so good. What was the capacity of this? 200. Ooh, Lesley, we can store all our crap in there now. Right, I think we should go back to the junkyard. Now we've got the jack. We're going to check out that bus, we're going to consider our ideas, and then we're going to do some stupid management that's going to take several years. Alright, let's go see this bus then. So, Lesley does admire the inside of the bus. His mind spirals with all the room for activities, but the inside of the engine is pretty fried. In the end, he decides that the best course is to leave town and hunt for a better bus to move into. There has to be more than one bus in Knox County. Before he heads out though, he moves a bunch of his crap into the back of the trailer. Stuff like metal bars and electronics. Oh. You fool, Lesley. You just turned all your leather into just normal sheets. Because Lesley is very easily distracted, he spends the next couple of hours doing tailoring, repairing holes in his clothes and adding padding to most of his garments. This was a fun new part of Project Zomboid for me. Always learning. That is just so much fun, learning about new stuff to do in Project Zomboid. Yes, glug from the giant jug. So, the direction we're going to go is... Where are we now? We're going to go up here, all the way along to here. Then all the way around here. All the way around here, down here, and to here. Yeah. Nomad, baby. Living the dream. Play the road trip music. I don't think I'll ever be able to play Project Zomboid normally ever again. And so Lesley and Rod are out on the open road again, taking in the sights and smells of rural Kentucky, one farmhouse at a time. I'm mostly checking out these little buildings for like scraps of food and water, really. Oh, sweet, sweet margarine. Oh, margarine, you came and you were so delicious. Oh, margarine. Sorry for my... Lesley's terrible singing. It's nothing to do with me. Lesley just loves baths, so he stops for another one. It's cold and refreshing. The water is a bit green, a bit stagnant, but it reminds him of his youth, splashing around in rural ponds and swallowing tadpoles. Should we eat this whole tub of margarine? Let's eat half of it. It's good for our weight anyway. We could use it for spice for cooking, but we just got to get our weight up a little. I just love taking my time, you know? I feel like other playthroughs just have so much like, you got to go here, you got to do this. Whereas with Lesley, I'm just going from place to place, doing looting here, looting there. I don't know if it's terribly exciting for you to watch or anything, but I'm having a hell of a time. Lesley finds a generator in a shed and decides that he will take it with him, mostly to use it to fill up the spare gas tanks at the rural gas station up the road. Working nicely, Lesley. The plan is to get gas, head along the long old highway with nothing much to see, then duck down towards the military surplus store in the outskirts of Rosewood, then into Rosewood itself. Lesley's just out here living his best life. Drinking beers out on the open road, just doing whatever the hell he wants. Not gonna lie, trailer does make this RV a little harder to drop. Price we pay for storage. He stops for a moment to scrabble around in the crop field to see if he can find anything fresh and earthy to eat. Aha, he does. Yeah, some carrots, see? 1 carrot. Tell you what though, that carrot's going to taste delicious. We haven't had any fresh food for, I don't know how long. Like a month, basically. 1 single carrot, is it? I bet it's going to be a delicious apocalypse carrot. Fresh carrot in tow, Lesley and Rod continue on their journey, and he stumbles across a pretty morbid scene in one of the farmhouses. Oh. Oh dear. I feel like I walked into quite a private scene. 3 bottles of bleach. What took you down? Fair play, man. Fair play. Nothing quite as sinister than a rusting swing set. Or they were having a party. Sorry, guys. Hopefully that means there's beer, though. Were you drinking beer in here? There was no beer at the party, which might suggest it was a child's birthday party, and that makes Lesley feel sad. Thankfully, he is cheered up by finding Pancake the Hedgehog in somebody's shed. Now Mrs. Badger has a friend, and she can stop complaining about the smell in the back of the RV for once. Pancake the Hedgehog. Hey Badger, sexy Badger, you have a friend. Lesley is feeling a little sad. Oh, it's gone, because he's reading about electricity, which he loves, so that's nice. Day 36 is all about making progress to the gas station. He actually manages to make it there in decent time, ignoring plenty of distractions on the road. There are a surprising amount of zombies congregated at this lonely pump, like some kind of fuel-worshipping cult. Lesley really can't figure out how they've all ended up here, but he loops and twists through the trees for hours trying to lose them. Eventually they're all gone and he fills up his gas cans. Eat some snow globes whilst we're working. Oh god. That weird little slug zombie over there. If I was going to eat carrot that I'd picked in the wild, I'd probably have it in a roast. Not going to lie. Add bleach. Not yet, Les. You don't have to do that yet, mate. Don't put bleach in your roast, please. Even by accident. Fresh carrot. Our first fresh meal in a long old time. Let me rest. Sorry, bud. Sorry. Got places to be, things to do. 6:30, you've slept plenty, mate. Went to bed at 10:30. Alright then, on we go. Day 37 is a long old drive along a highway where mostly nothing happens. He does stumble across another survivor zombie, so he parks up to deal with the shambling treasure trove. Stalker boots. Ooh. Fishing line, fishing tackle, but no rod. Stalker knife, a trap box. Yes. I'll take it all. He pulls up to a roadside diner for a piss, and the place is covered in zombies. In a bit of a panic struggle, he manages to get to the woods, but things don't go to plan. Thick woods. Okay. Just a little bit of panic there in the woods. Things don't go to plan in the diner either. Oh no. Not that way. Oh god. Oh my god. Okay. Jesus, Lesley. Who are you? No legs. Are you a ghost? Are you a figment of my imagination? That was a little intense. Intense is a bit of an understatement. He does get this sweet neon sign for the RV though, and he falls asleep under its bathing neon light. Whoa! So bright in here now. Day 38 begins like something from a horror story. Honestly, terrifying. That is horrifying. Must have walked over in the night. I just don't care. Don't care. Lesley wants absolutely nothing to do with that. He continues on, looking for a path down to the surplus shop. Unfortunately, he runs into an issue. The way is blocked on that road. There are so many zombies here. What's going on? So we need to go another way. Looks strange and lonely about this foggy road. Totally alone. Eventually he reaches his destination, and you guessed it, more zombies. He does the old looping trick with Rod. Loop the loop trick, just round and round. So many farmers here. Once the zombies have been dispersed by the glorious honker, he parks up, deals with a few stragglers, and settles in for the evening. Good night, Lesley. We're back on day 39 with a little Lesley Stump. He has recently arrived close to the military surplus store, and he'll spend the next couple of days sneaking and smashing his way towards that holy grail of bullets and Britain's armour. He begins by sneaksies, but of course Lesley sneezes. He's got his crowbar out and no tissue to hand. There are still a bunch of zombies here that weren't attracted by Rod the RV's glorious honker, so Lesley begins to loop them into the woods once again. Oh god, I sneezed. I should have been using my tissue. You fool, Lesley, you fool. Be careful in the woods now, Lesley, you know what happened last time. Les makes it with no accidents in the trees and then returns to start bonking zombies on the head again. He finds a rare piece of treasure. Remember this sword. Lesley becomes one with the sword, a true warrior. But that's a little later. A katana. Wow, wicked. A katana. Nice. He sneaks his way into the auto shop, but like his previous endeavours, the place is empty. Worthless. Lesley is miserable. Poor old Rod is getting no love at all. He pauses for a cigarette to consider his pointless existence in the bathroom like he has done many times before, even before the apocalypse. Then he returns to Rod before things get too existential. The rain is torrential outside. The rat-a-tat-tat of the water on Rod's roof is soothing to him, though. As he's prepping dinner, a familiar sound roars from outside.
Well then. Semi-productive day. Not like overly, really. But every zombie that dies is another zombie, clearing the path to the joy of the military surplus store. Another helicopter.
Rather than cause a nuisance, Lesley just carries on reading and making a scrumptious fish and canned roast dinner. Helicopter, schmelicopter.
Imagine being that helicopter. Come back twice. See, the same RV, the same guy. Still not helping.
Scumbags, yeah, they've gone already. Get out of here.
Helicopters come back again.
Why?
Leave me be.
Don't worry, Lesley.
You just sit and read your book. Ignore the helicopter outside. I'm sure it won't cause any massive glaring issues. Hopefully.
Eventually the helicopter fades away and he gets to bed. He wakes up on the morning of day 40, prepared to tackle the zombies.
This guy loves a sneeze. Got a little bit of a sneeze fetish. Do you want me to sneeze in your mouth? Get away, freak.
Les fights his way through the small group of buildings and checks out the food market and pharmacy. The market is largely full of rotten food and the medical centre has a few pots of pills that Lesley will gobble down later. He stops to take a look himself in the full-length mirror. It's the first time he has seen his full reflection in some days. He has lost a lot of weight and his hair is extremely long. He vows to give himself a haircut soon. Outside he finds a neat little ATV that sort of looks like a yummy little beetle. He has no use for it, but it does appeal to him. Maybe one day he will come back.
Just going to clear out this group of zombies in front, I think.
Over the past few days or month, Lesley has turned into a complete psychopath. His skills are higher than ever and he slices and dices his way through the crowd of zombies outside the army surplus store like a knife through juicy butter.
Oh yeah, making that tent kit for sure.
There is a bunch of decent stuff on the shop floor, but by far the best find was
Luke Skywalker's cape.
Lesley has come all this way only to realise he doesn't have a hammer, which means he can't disassemble the door to the gun room. He is an idiot, but he is an idiot for you. Always bring a hammer, gang. Always.
Actually so dumb that I've done that. Always bring a hammer with you guys. Now I can't disassemble the door to get into the guns.
He begins the long walk back to the RV.
You made a horrible noise, man. Get out of here. You've done a number on this town, Lesley. You lunatic. Mass murderer. Can you kill that which is already dead? It's going to be so much random stuff in this RV, man. I have to get really cluttered in here. But I love the look of it.
Sleep, Lesley, sleep. On day 41, rather than walk all the way back to the shop, Lesley just drives Rod right up to the door of the surplus store. He knocks down the door, the gunroom door, and picks all the ammo and shotguns and other bits and pieces. There's a bunch of useful stuff here, although Lesley is yet to fire a gun at all, not even once.
Nice. Restricted area. Reserved for me, the badger, and the pancake hedgehog. No one else is allowed here.
Now it's off to Rosewood to loot the police station and fire station. An old familiar destination for Lesley. His parents lived in Rosewood once, but that was a long time ago. They were in the ground now, supposedly, or once again roaming the streets of the small town.
And it's time to hit the road again. Let's go, Lesley. Definitely seen better days, though.
He drives straight through the ruined streets and parks up to find himself pretty much surrounded by zombies.
Could be a crazy place to stop, but...
Lesley carves through them. His new cloak billows in the wind. The dead swarm him, but he dodges and weaves and slices. Lesley moves like a stream, like the head of a snake, the graceful Lesley Stump. The entire horde falls at his feet. The grass is stained blood red. Lesley Stump is the victor.
Nice. Easy peasy. Lesley has come a long way. No longer afraid. I am no longer afraid of you zombies, which is a bad sign, which means I usually get eaten shortly after this realization. I literally look like Luke Skywalker when he's on Tatooine. I'll try and get a picture, tell you what I mean. I actually look like
basically the same. Not on Tatooine. Maybe he's on off? Can't remember. Lesley wanders over into the field to see if he can forage around for some more fresh veg. However, the group of zombies over there has other ideas. You know what I just said about overconfidence getting you killed in Project Zomboid? Well, yeah, it also comes with Lesley's hyperfixation on this big bubba, the zombie in a bomb suit. He really wants the bomb suit even if he has no real purpose for it. He wants to be big. Lesley gets quite tired, so he pulls out the katana and begins slicing the zombies to pieces. He doesn't want to damage the bomb suit, which leads to this pretty awkward back and forwards as Lesley tries to fight off the other zombies while switching to the crowbar to bonk the big zombie. He is also fighting exhaustion. Being a bit of an idiot all round, really, our Stump. Lesley does, in the end, take down the zombie and claims his prize. Bloody bomb suit. That was an absolute massacre. Lesley also returns to the RV with another type of prize, the little weirdo. Picked up the bra too, for good measure. Lesley, you really have an issue with underwear. Good job today, Les. Really impressive stuff, man. Absolute monster. Put the bra on the badger. Yes. Perfect. On day 41, Lesley dresses up Pancake the badger, then heads into Rosewood proper. First target is the police station. The place has a few zombies outside and a few of them inside, but when he heads up to the loot room, there's a disappointing amount of loot in the gun room. A single handmade M14 magazine. Wow. Rosewood police are seriously underfunded. Next is the fire station, which does have a propane tank or two. That will come in handy, especially when he wants to disassemble some more cars. And Lesley stops for a shower in the relatively peaceful upstairs bathroom. We're showering with the cape on. Nice look, bro. Nice look. Oh, your bag's going to get all soggy, Lesley. Shower with your bag. He takes a look around the rest of the station and then wipes out Rosewood's fire department with a katana in the parking lot. This is honestly just such a good weapon. The Jedi Butcher of Rosewood. Oh, the double tap from behind would have chopped both their heads off. God damn, so satisfying. Victorious over Rosewood, Lesley returns to the RV, which is now absolutely heaving with stuff. It must weigh a ton. How does it even move? I have no idea. Our RV is just full of stuff. I mean, I love it, but time to sleep. Have a little cigarette first. Day 42 begins with another adventure, towards the bus station. Why, you ask? To find a bus, of course. Lesley wants a bus. The bus station is next to the drive-in theatre, but the weather is absolutely awful and there are zombies everywhere. Lesley doesn't feel like dealing with them all, and as he can't see a bus, he heads out of the area. This where it is? It's so foggy. By quite a lot, I mean too many for me to really be bothered to deal with. But let's get out of here. He's heading south to March Ridge, a gated community with a community centre he's heard is teeming with books. If he's going to find that magical intermediate mechanics book somewhere, he thinks he might find it there. Now we can make our way into March Ridge. The goal is to look for the community centre because we need that intermediate mechanics magazine desperately, Lesley, desperately. Little stifled sneeze there because he's holding a tissue. Lesley clears out the road, then clears out a little bit more of the road and then parks Rod on the outskirts of town to relax for the evening. He also comes to the realisation that he has lost rather a lot of weight on the road. Lesley's actually underweight right now. Well, that's not good, is it? We need to eat more food. And he'll need to start stuffing his face with goodies more regularly to regain some kgs. Eat that whole box of cereal, Les. You're underweight. How did I not notice? 1,300 zombies killed. Despite his frail stature, Lesley has killed 1,300 zombies. Wowee! Impressive for a Stump. He nods off in the back of the RV, dreaming of zombie blood and zombies and other zombie-related nightmares. Day 43 begins with another horde of zombies. There are a little too many for Stump to handle, so he backs up and leads them around a fence, then hops over. Silly, stupid little zombies. Lesley makes his way into town and loots his very first March Ridge home. Each home is fought for with tooth, nail and knife. He loots building to building and finds scraps of food and other tidbits here and there, but finds the real prize on a dead zombie in a driveway. Black silk boxes. Yes, Lesley, it's time for you to swap your boxes. Bailing. We're putting leather strips on our crotch. He returns to the van after clearing out some nearby zombies and falls asleep, exhausted after his day of looting and rooting and tooting. It's excellent news in March Ridge, because pretty much every house he loots has a stick of lard in. Perfect for a skinny little boy. Lesley loves milk. Shrimp. More lard. Lard and milk and zombie slaying. Lesley Stump is in dreamland. Ever since Lesley found this cape, he's just turned into a badass. And the people of March Ridge just love lard. Get me some maple syrup in my belly. March Ridge is mine. That's what Lesley thinks, because he's a bit of a nutter. He basically goes from building to building eating dead people's snacks. Lesley might be a little overconfident with the statement, "We've conquered March Ridge," but we'll let him have his little party for now. That was just unnecessary, wasn't it really, Lesley? Make ourselves something delicious, Lesley, to celebrate your conquering of March Ridge. We're back on day 45 with Lesley Stump. He wakes up and immediately drinks enough soup from the fridge that he has instant stomachache and needs to take a second to calm down and read a book while the soup does loop-de-loops in his intestines. Les heads out into the fog and slices his way down the street. The aim of today is simple. The man has only one goal, a simple one: to find the Intermediate Mechanics magazine so he can finally give Rod the love he deserves. First though, Lesley loots and investigates various buildings in March Ridge, including a few of his favourite things. Right, let's clear out some of these buildings then. I think the community centre is just on the other side, but first of all we're just going to have a little look. Pickles! Pickles are good. Oh, goodness. 2 baseball bats. Lacy triangle bra. Well, we simply must have this. While looting the buildings and shuffling through a world of dead stuff, Lesley begins to feel the pangs of immense depression. He pauses for a cigarette and then reads a magazine on a dead person's bed, on top of a dead person's hoodie in a dead person's room. He tries to imagine that it is the room from some past life, but the house smells faintly of mould and the rotting dead. Dead, dead, dead. Lesley is losing his mind. What about some maple syrup? Half a bottle of maple syrup in a magazine? Is that enough to make you feel good, Lesley? They're a little sad. Right, just smoke another cigarette then, till you feel better, and then we'll have a beer when you get back to the RV, when you get back to Rod. Okay, have a beer. God, this is brutal. Such a good weapon. To cheer himself up, he slices some zombies to bits with the katana, then heads back to Rod. He drives the RV into town a little further, skirting around the pile of zombie flesh in the middle of the road, and parks up behind the cinema. As a reminder of the harsh world he lives in, Lesley finds the Stabby McStab zombie in the lot. It's like some kind of zombie defense mechanism. He's just covered himself in spikes. Obviously didn't work. Ah, good stuff, mate, good stuff. Lesley drinks the cool, cold, delicious beer. You can see the pain in his eyes. Or Les. Still severely depressed. Well, will your dolls make you feel better? You have 4 of them now, Lesley. Surely they make you feel better. He does everything to try and cheer himself up. He plays with his dolls, he eats maple syrup, he reads an old television magazine, those beacons of unbelievable entertainment, and eats handfuls of sweets. In the end, he does what most people do when they are depressed, simply goes to sleep. And in the morning, Lesley wakes up and he feels fine again. The tick-tock of time continues on, the never-ending garden path. What's this little building? Whoa, okay. Little bar. Yeah, that's quite a few. Lesley pillages the bar for more booze and fags. More bourbon. Wow, we've got enough bourbon to burn down a city. Outside, he spies a beautiful prison bus, a potential upgrade for Rod the RV. He slices his way across the lot to take a closer look.
Hey, I'm whispering at you. Hey. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. You're dead. You're dead. Let's investigate this little bus, shall we? The inside is about the same size as Rod, and when Les checks under the bonnet, he sees that it's actually in pretty good shape. In theory, this prison bus is able to be modified, Lesley presumes, but for now he'll leave it where it is. It's not exactly the space upgrade he was expecting, and he can't just abandon Rod the RV for his slightly uglier cousin Pete the prison bus. While clearing the parking lot, Lesley stumbles across a recognisable face. What is that on that guy's back? Shotgun. Yes, please. Ellis. Hey, it's Ellis. So, it was Coach, and this is Ellis. We've killed them both.
Alright, I don't mean to be cursing myself, but I think I'm gonna die.
Rest in peace, Ellis. Maybe the community centre's over there. Can we sneak past these, do you reckon? Oh, okay. After dispatching another famous zombie slayer, Lesley works his way across the lot and finally sets eyes on the prize, the majestic, the lovely, the fantastic March Ridge Community Centre, home of magazines and books. He hopes. There are, however, quite a few zombies around. He takes it nice and slowly, because Lesley Stump does not want to die. Thankfully, he has the katana. The satisfying thuds as they hit the ground. I think the best thing to do is just try and kill as many zombies around here as possible, really. The fewer zombies there are, the easier my life will be. Oh, Lesley. You're ruthless, man. Absolutely ruthless. Into the community centre we go. Let's see what we're dealing with here. There is something particularly miserable about the community centre. A place of such hope and life now reduced to bloodstains and an empty sports hall that makes Les especially sad. It takes until about 7 PM to clear the centre and the surrounding area, and rather than get sleepy while hunting for books in a dark room, Lesley makes the smart decision and simply walks back to Rod. We will not make any stupid mistakes, he tells himself, his own whispered mantra. No stupid mistakes, Stump. Sounds just like his wife. Wow, we have just caused absolute destruction in March Ridge. Back to Rod, we return to our steed. Lesley returns to Rod and has a well-earned beer from the fridge. His hair and beard are getting really itchy, and he takes off his helmet and bandana to reveal an unrecognisable face. It's time to sharpen up. He shaves his beard down to a thin moustache and pulls his hair up in a ponytail. Lesley catches his reflection in the shiny cooking pot and smiles. Yeah, that looks a lot better, old mate. At the end of the day, he reads a magazine, then falls asleep. Excuse me. Hello. Goodbye. Wow, I just shouted and he can't hear me. Hello, sir, are you deaf? No, you're dead. On day 47, Lesley begins as he plans to go on, carving through waves of zombies. He enters the March Ridge Community Centre library. He peruses the spines of the books in the dark, squinting in the low light and dust. Does he find the treasured intermediate mechanics book? Shit no, he doesn't. Another place empty of the one item he needs. Lesley grumbles. I can't believe we didn't find it, Liz. I like the hunting magazine in the children's section. America. Is that a machete? No, of course not. It's just a massive bread knife. That's not a knife. Rainy day. At the library. Lesley did used to love to come to the library. Car butchering in a nutshell. That's good. He does find a few decent things, including a soft red rug from the creche and a new child's drawing for the RV. It's a reminder of the old world. It makes him feel immensely sad, but that's sort of the point. He does some organising, then gets depressed again because God, that's me, is forcing him to read multiple magazines about boring stuff like deconstructing cars and smelting bars in the back garden. Lesley drinks an entire bottle of white wine. Drink that and stop complaining, Stump. He falls asleep. Again. No reason to celebrate. Well, that's not true. We did reach our destination. We did reach the community centre after all. So have a little drink, Liz. On day 48, after the failure of the library, Lesley instead turns his attention to the houses of March Ridge. Surely someone somewhere in this godforsaken little town has the magazine he's looking for. But no luck. Lesley's been getting very depressed. Very, very depressed. How can you be depressed? Look, all that good stuff we've just found, Lesley. Wash yourself up a little bit, maybe. Maybe that's why you're so sad. I mean, you're washing yourself in a toilet and doesn't make things much better, but severely depressed again. Poor Lesley. We're gonna get blackout drunk later, okay, mate? You just have to persevere a little bit longer for me so we can find this goddamn magazine. I would be depressed too if I was looking everywhere for this magazine. I couldn't find it. Peanut butter. Making a sandwich on their desk. Freaks. Lesley falls into a deep, magazine-induced depression and decides to start screaming his head off in the middle of the street, attracting every nearby zombie to the sharp edge of his katana. He faffs around with a gun in a building and almost gets the ultimate punishment. Oh my god, Lesley. That is not the right time to be messing around, young man. Oh, that could have been it. Could have been it. Could have been it. Just messing around with a shotgun. Jesus. Lesley. Give me a heart attack. Thankfully, little Lesley still has got a spring in his step. He returns to the RV after a slog through the streets, has a beer, and then goes to bed. A pretty much unproductive day. Day 49 is all about guns. He whips out a heavily kitted rifle that he found a little earlier and tries his luck. With such low aiming skill, he hardly hits a shot. But damn, Lesley is having fun. The gun sounds outrageous, echoing down the empty streets. Shooting didn't really go to plan. Should have been using a shotgun. Unfortunately, this does mean that every zombie in a rather large area is now shambling towards him. He slices most of the other's heads up, then switches to the shotgun, a much more preferable weapon for taking out shamblers. He spends most of the afternoon rounding them up and blasting them down. Lesley does this all day, up and down and round and up and down and round until he's completely out of shotgun shells. Then he drives back into town and tries to pick up a bed and destroys it in the process. Good job, Mr. Stump. No. After a day of sheer brutality, Lesley returns to the warm, humming, throbbing belly of Rod. Lesley's little dolls. Delicious fruit, Lesley fruit. There we go. Now let's read our mechanics book. Oh my god, there's just stuff everywhere. There's stuff everywhere. Ah, the dawn of day 50. Halfway through the adventure, and Lesley feels better than ever. Except for the missing magazine, bouts of crippling depression, and an RV that is so full of shite that it puts a hoarder's home to shame. Then those familiar flying pricks turn up again. Ah, the helicopter. This one is not so good. That's gonna draw a lot of folks towards me. Okay. Well, I think the best bet then is, honestly, it's time to leave. Archridge, I've had quite enough of you. You cursed place! Just like that, Lesley's time in March Ridge comes to an end, with no magazine in sight. Oh well, on he goes, persevering in the rain, on to the next fabled land, Moldor, and its line of shops, warehouses and all sorts of other goodies. But first, a stop at the crossroads. Ah, yes. Helicopter roaring overhead, Lesley has his first cooked meal in a couple of days. Get this first. Cook this delicious meal. Kidney bean rice with soy sauce. Scrumptious. Gonna have half of that. Pour it directly over my head like I'm showering in rice and kidney beans. Then he heads out with his welding tools to destroy some cars. It's here that Lesley realises that he'll need screws to fix Rod and his busted bonnet, but he has no screws to his name. This is going to be a problem. This dropped me screws then. No. How do I get screws? And the helicopter's come back again. Hello? Can't you see I'm just doing my thing out here? Oh, Les, you idiot. Cut yourself again by smashing through a window, Lesley. So, realising he can't really do anything to Rod without screws, Lesley heads on down the road. Only he stops when he remembers something very important. My cooking pot. Don't forget your cooking pot, Les. Run for the cooking pot. Retrieve it. Did I already bring it back inside? Maybe I already brought it back inside. No, I didn't. Phew, and my saucepan. I remembered.
Oh, Lesley. One day someone will run after me like you've just run after that cooking pot full of rainwater.
I think we're going to park up here. We're actually going to do some foraging.
What's that? A wild leek. Now that's what I'm talking about. A delicious wild leek. The helicopter's come back again. Why won't you leave me alone? Can't you see I'm just a simple man? Read by the light of the neon open sign. Open your brain, Lesley, to knowledge. And tomorrow we will venture forth into Moldral, I believe, to knock down some fences so we can get some screws so we can repair our delightful rod. Rod the RV. I just want nothing to do with you. Good night. Onwards and upwards. What did he crash into? A ghost? Nothing there. Hello, denizens of Moldral. I'm here to slice you to pieces. A delightful little caravan over here. Looks a bit dirty. Filthy. Filthy little caravan. Go have a look. Wow, this one's got a little toilet. Actually, I forgot to eat our thing in. We just left it on the hob. Oh, I'm queasy again. I ate too much. I ate too much, Lesley. Read your book until your stomach's settled. Would be nice to have a toilet in our RV, I'm not gonna lie. Lesley's stomach is questionable. Stinky little man. Rested and with his stomach settled, Lesley heads out towards the gas station, hoping beyond all hope that the magazine is sitting on the rack. Please, please. No. No luck. Lesley heads on over to the small inn, the Rusty Rifle, to find something to drink away the pain of still failing to find this magazine.
The Rusty Rifle. Sounds right up my street.
Before he can get inside, he finds an ex-survivor in the parking lot who is also moonlighting as a gourmet chef in the apocalypse.
Oh, but he's got... Wow, fine dining. Canned corned beef cereal, red wine and pepper and rosemary. My guy was going to cook some gourmet food out on the road. Oh. Red spotted underwear. Yes, please. We'll take that too. Shall we, Leslie? Go check out the Rusty Rifle, shall we? Hello? Why rip this place to the ground? Do you reckon I have screws? See, that gives me nails. I don't want nails, I want screws.
Lesley needs screws to fix Rod, who is a little beaten up, especially in the face area. It's a cornerstone of the next few days, this quest for the screws. Screws, Lesley. Little screws. But the night of day 51 is drawing in, and Lesley heads back to the RV to catch a snooze. On day 52, Lesley cooks some breakfast, a stir-fry, then heads up the road towards some warehouses.
L&B warehousing. Come on. Please let there be some screws.
There were no screws in the warehouse.
Screws. Nice. I found some screws outside. In the rubbish. Oh my god.
No screws in that warehouse either. Just lurking zombies in the shadows. Lesley is pretty panicky. He's going to need to try something else to get his hands on some delicious screws.
Now, apparently, if I disassemble these fences, maybe I can get some screws. Ugh, what are you wearing? Disgusting.
However, before he can dismantle any of the fences, Lesley is a man of wandering mind, and he gets distracted by the potential bounties in these little trailers.
As if I'm squeezing through that tiny gap.
As expected, the trailers are empty, and while Lesley clears out some more zombies, he dreams of the sharp blade of the katana, replaced now by a heavy, head-cleaving axe.
Little drowsy, little bitly, moderately exhausted, Lesley. Don't get carried away now, mate. Ah, the warm belly.
There is something immensely comforting, extremely comforting about this place. Rather than get too sleepy out there, Lesley returns at about 6 o'clock and sits underneath the warm glow of the open light. He doesn't want to die, and life means patience.
We're going to read until the book is done.
Yeah, it's time for bed. You wonder how Lesley has survived this long. It is simply because of his patience. He has reached a sort of equilibrium. No longer on a quest for screws or a magazine, Lesley just spends the day killing more zombies. It's what he wants to do, so he's going to do it. It doesn't matter that these cabins are hardly worth fighting for.
Who's this guy? What is this guy got on his head? Is he wearing a... What is that? I don't like it.
A noisemaker and an aerosol bomb. Oh, okay. Oh god. Oh dear. Oh. Well, that's didn't really have the desired effect. Eventually, after spooky clowns and pipe bombs, just an average Zomboid day with Lesley Stump, he makes it to the storage units that were sort of his intended goal. I guess we wait for these guys to break down the door. Oh, there's quite a few of them in there. Thanks, guys. You did an excellent job. God, I can't think of a more bleak place to die than a storage unit. I don't know. This place is so miserable anyway. Imagine spending the rest of eternity locked in a storage unit. Ooh. Like this one. Nothing. A wooden chair? I don't care about your wooden chair, man. Oh. Well, now I feel bad, man. Unfortunately, the storage rooms were devoid of anything useful whatsoever. Lesley leaves mostly empty-handed. A bus. School bus. We must go investigate. That bus looks in good nick as well. It's not a big bus, like I'm after, but could be an upgrade. Lesley feels kind of cool, calm and collected. Like, I don't know. He's just reached a sort of a oneness with the apocalypse. He's reached the level where he just, I don't know, feels calm. Feels calm about the whole thing. Relax. Place the jar on top of the fridge with the rest of the stuff. Put the clown mask. Oh god. Put it on the badger. Badger with the mask. Oh, it's okay. He just loves that sweet, sweet evaporated milk. Is evaporated milk a liquid? I hope you don't judge me for this because I'm not entirely sure. He's slurping on a liquid, but I don't know if Lesley is actually drinking a liquid. I'm not entirely sure what evaporated milk is. I hope you don't judge me for that. But I'm just going to put so many cans on top of the fridge. Originally, I was putting them in a but now I've kind of reached a point where I just want to fill the RV with as many random things as I possibly can. I want to turn this place into just like a, you know, a complete hodgepodge. These are the murmurings of a madman. A man who has lived alone for 2 months on the open road, slurping on milk, living in total disarray in this stinky RV, destroying zombies, clearing out towns. He is allowed to let his mind wander like this. He is a simple, lovely man. To celebrate his madness, he rips the sofa apart with his bare hands. He needs more room for stuff later on. Alright, 10 o'clock, mate. Let's just go to bed. Day 54 starts brilliantly. Oops. God. I shouldn't have crashed. There was a tiny tree. It's always the tiny tree. Hope that didn't hurt the engine too much. Oh, they sneak up on you and like that sometimes, these little creepy little guys. Few people? Zombies. They're not people anymore. Die. They seem to have been attracted to Rod, and he does give off some very pleasurable scents. Our little Rod. Certain pheromones. Oh, it's because his engine's still running. That can't be good. It's raining and the place is disgusting and covered in zombies and trash, but Les does find some carrots on the side of the road. Delicious road carrots. Soft sounds of the rain, the cooking food. It's what life's about, really. That's all it boils down to. Simple pleasures. Enjoy what you can when you can. Gunshot in the distance. Just like real life. Eat all of it, Lesley. I don't care if it makes you sick. But it didn't. Nice. After his carrot lunch, Lesley heads back out into the rain. You know, Lesley's so lonely that even one zombie, recognizing that he exists like that, out of a crowd, Quite humbling. It's quite a nice experience.
Lesley looks upon the offices and busts and decides neither of them are really of any interest at all. So he heads back to complete the task that he was meant to do 2 days ago.
God, we were meant to dismantle these fences down here. I forgot that was the whole point of the episode. Or, not the episode. Come say hello to my little axe. Yeah, thank you. Just one at a time though. The axe gets shy. Thank you. Hello.
Lesley is all over the place at the moment. I'm not really sure what's going on inside that little brain of his.
Never far. God, I forgot what I was meant to do again. Dismantle the fence. Screws. We can finally fix Rod, so you get some love. Wow, we are not having a good time over here, Les. Any kind of menial labour. Lesley just gives up. He's tired, severely depressed, moist, anxious, fairly heavy load, and yeah. Alright, mate. Alright. Jesus Christ. Oh my god, that literally made me feel sick. Oh, it made me feel so sick. I literally jumped out of my skin. It's okay. Calm down. Walk nice and calmly back to Rod. To warm Rod's womb. Climb into Rod's womb and forget about that.
Lesley notices that it's the 1st of September. He has survived most of the summer. But after almost getting eaten while trying to take down a fence, Lesley returns to the RV to take a breather. He is severely depressed, so he tries to cheer himself up with a comic or two, then falls asleep.
Just pour it through your tubes. Drink it through your tubes, Lesley.
On day 55, he tries to fix Rod's face but realises he doesn't have enough screws, so it's back to the fences.
Who are you? Who are you? Got a nick out of my boot. Out of my boot. Where did you come from? I pressed all the buttons on my keyboard at the same time.
He spends the entire day knocking them down and ends up with 16 screws in total. He's exhausted, so he heads back to the RV and eats a quarter jar of peanut butter and falls asleep. On day 56, Lesley repairs Rod's face, a whopping 8%. He's going to need a lot more screws to make any meaningful repairs. So we just need a lot of screws. He wanders around a bit, takes a look at some useless offices, then finds some ginseng in the grass. Lesley cooks roast potatoes to cheer himself up. There is nothing better for the mood than a crispy potato on the outside with a delicate white fluff on the inside. Comic book finished. The RV is filling with the smell of potato. Roasted potatoes. Roast potatoes are yummy. After lunch, he drives up the road and quickly gets pretty swarmed by the hordes of zombies. He hops out and deals with a few, but he's getting very sleepy, so he has to head back down the road. Les doesn't want to fall asleep at 2 PM, so for the rest of day 56, he just reads books in the back of the RV. Why are you feeling so sad, Les? I know that didn't really go to plan. Alright, he's feeling better now. He's very tired. Very weird time to go to bed though. So we're just going to read books, I think, instead. What needs to be upgraded? Foraging level 7. Cool. So that means today we're just going to read this book because he's so tired. Okay. Just until it's a reasonable time to go to sleep, you know. Because he's ridiculously tired at half past 5. Oh my god. They're here. That made me jump so much. I thought I was going to die then. God, that made me jump so much. Once Lesley's calmed down, he decides that the best way to approach is by foot, slowly and steadily, just like old Grandma Stump. It's his dream, his one desire and hope, that he will find the Intermediate Mechanics magazine somewhere in a bin or a mailbox. So begins the day's quest. Fill up my canteen in the toilet. Delicious apocalypse toilet water. He drinks from toilets, loots the buildings, and constantly searches for the magazine of his dreams. Unfortunately, it is nowhere to be found. Normally I wouldn't bother going in here, but imagine... Oh. Well, there you go. Karma. Instant karma. Actually kind of good though. That means I can go like this way. Lesley uses the alarm to his advantage and sneaks around the shambling masses to the other side of the buildings. That's a nice poster. Let's try a few more of these small buildings. Hoping, dreaming of the intermediate mechanics magazine. In this bin? In this bin? No. Oh my god, I thought it was... I see Lane's auto manual one more time, I'm going to have a full meltdown. Climbed over the bins. Oh yeah. Come on, sweet magazine. He is cursed. The magazine haunts his every waking moment. Lane's auto magazine. Lane's auto magazine. Cruel Mother Zomboid. That lady luck spares his life but denies him the one magazine he needs to give Rod the massage he deserves. With these thoughts rolling around his head, Lesley sleeps in a big double bed in one of the houses. Lane's auto magazine, whispers a voice. Slept in a real bed. I was going to eat some fake meat. Oh. Leslie's going to scream. Another one that's not right. Come on, game. Please don't do this to me. Somewhere in this town, there's going to be that magazine. I'm almost certain of it. Please, 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 please. Scared the hell out of me. What has that guy got on his back? What is that? Is it a Ghostbuster? I think he's a Ghostbuster. Yeah, it's a proton pack. So Lesley has no magazine, but he does find a proton pack and a pretty poster of a lady. Lesley returns to the RV for a light snack and to put away some of his treasures, like a magpie. The proton pack on top of the coffee machine, that would be nice. Sure, why not? So we put up the Betty poster, but he doesn't really want to see her face. He's got the more interesting bit to look at anyway. Little weirdo Lesley. Put the duck with the badger. It's also time for him to whip together a meal, and he actually cooks something that sounds pretty delicious. God damn, Lesley, you're learning. Red wine and canned tomato pasta with rosemary. You know what, Les? That actually sounds delicious. Smoke a cigarette, Les. He eats the yummy pasta, smokes a cigarette, then falls asleep on a pile of badgers, clown masks, dolls, ducks, magazines, and other assorted detritus. Day 59 is one of almost total, complete, unbelievable disaster. Just watch for yourself. Oh. I was not even going very fast. Oh my god. That could have been so bad. Considering what had just happened and watching it back now, Lesley was very, very calm about the whole thing. Rod was almost totaled out of existence. Let's clear up the stragglers from behind first. Can't believe that almost happened. That would have been so bad. The fact that Rod was not destroyed must have been an act of divine intervention. Although Les is not a religious man, he wanders towards the church. God save us, reads the blood-splattered sign. A bride collapses through a smashed window. A groom stumbles from the front door. An undead marriage. The whole place makes Lesley feel very queasy. She's wearing some black frilly underpants. Fair enough. You probably want to wear nice underwear on your wedding, don't you? Wedding car with a pistol in it. God, what kind of story was evolving here? Lesley does not pick up the zombie bride's underwear. Even he has a limit. And after examining the wedding car with the pistol in the glove compartment, a sinister thing in itself, he continues towards the storage lots and warehouses. Screws are on the agenda again. Les looks around but finds nothing he needs, and he does walk out with a massive crate in his backpack. Perfect for Rod. There's got to be some screws around here somewhere, surely. Put the crate in our backpack. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Don't question it. Ah, yes, storage. Nice, and we're going to be super organized. And... ta-da! I'm going to fix all this, don't worry. Lesley will make his living conditions better at some point. Maybe. We'll see.
I kind of love the chaotic look of it. I'm not gonna lie. It looks crazy.
After doing some excellent organising inside Rod, he reads a book until early evening, then falls asleep.
Have a cigarette in the morning, listening to that wind whistle. Winds are whistling. Right, let's go.
On day 60, Lesley ventures out once more to search for screws. Nothing in the warehouse. He does take another crate back to the RV for double the storage, and then tries the storage units. Nothing here, just several boxes of magazines that do not include the Intermediate Mechanics magazine. Brilliant, just brilliant. Lady Zomboid laughs at him once again. With that area now checked and clear, he jumps behind the wheel of Rod and drives the RV further into Muldraw. The zombies swarm like bumblebees from the trees, drawn by Rod's glorious honker. Lesley loops the RV around the trees along the long road that follows perpendicular to Muldraw's main street. It's an old and tested tactic. He hopes that by the time he gets back to town, the zombies have dispersed enough for him to pillage the car repair shop, warehouses, and any other potential hotspots for sweet loot.
Seems like the old looping tactic still works pretty good.
Wait, did I come here before?
Yes. Yes.
I've already been here.
Yes, the looping may have worked, kind of, but actually Lesley had already been here, so it didn't work that well.
Check the bins for the almighty magazine. Come on, Les.
Whoa, I'm looking kind of wild now with my mask.
Alright, this place is full of zombies. Guess they tried to lock them in there.
Hence the barricades on the outside of the window.
Hey,
Oh, it sounds horrible in there. Gonna head back to the RV, I think. Rather than deal with the spiffos overflowing with ghouls, Les returns to the RV and whips up a tuna stir-fry. He falls asleep, and then on day 61 wakes up early at 4:30. So he reads until 6, then drives further up the road. It is here he realises the looping hasn't really worked at all.
Wow, just a few zombies around here. Do dole for our troubles.
I didn't really want to stop here, but I thought it's best place as any. I'm really looking for the warehouses up the road. This is what I'm going for. I'll always stop at Spiffos though if there's a chance to get some ketchup. I think this is the bank actually though.
Sit in this chair and pretend we're a big boss, hey Les?
Les sits in the bank boss's chair and thinks of the old world. He had probably already caved the boss's skull in and not even realised. The apocalypse. The great equaliser.
Take those paper clips for future fishing.
You ever find a rod?
We already have a rod, but a different kind of rod. I mean, a fishing rod.
Not a stinky, overflowing with rubbish rod. Les breaks down the bank's safe door and finds...
Wow. That big defensive door for one paperclip. And a pen. Don't forget the pen.
There are more zombies he has to deal with, even though he's getting a bit knackered. The crowbar is heavy in his hands.
Oh, Lesley, focus up, man. Almost got a nibble out of you.
Oh, okay.
We have to check this fossil because the magazine could be here. Apparently the fuel is $0. Guess it is free in the apocalypse. Empty giant water bottle. Okay. Thought that was going to be it. Oh, it's for the buses. God damn. Cursed.
Once again, no magazine in sight. Now he has to kill a bunch of zombies while staving off exhaustion. Eventually, he does clear the crowd and can return to Rod. After a long, hard and disappointing day, he falls asleep and in the morning roasts potatoes. There is nothing quite like roast potatoes for breakfast.
Some more delicious roast potatoes. Canned potato roast potatoes with lard. Oh, lard roasted potatoes are delicious. $2 for our collection. 5 dolls all in a line. A badger. A creepy little... We'll call him Frank there at the back. That's Frank. Frank the head. Frank the head. Right then. He heads out and this time does investigate Spiffos. Mostly so he can collect enough ketchup to bathe in it. Ketchup. So much ketchup. Just wanted to catch up. I will go to the market too, because there might be magazines there. At the market, he stumbles across an odd scene. Zombies with weapons and police officers. What happened here? Were they looting during the early outbreak, or was it something more sinister? What is this? What has happened here? It's like some kind of... No idea. Exciting though. Shotguns are in good nick too. And some butter hiding there too. Maybe that was what they were all fighting for. Single stick of butter. No! Performance manual. I don't need that. I can't believe it. As per usual, we'll just put everything into one single crate. I do apologise for Lesley's awful management. Just a single skull. It's quite intriguing. Back down here, I wonder what the skull means. Does it happen to mean loads of zombies? Because that's what's here. Against his better judgment, Lesley decides to follow the map to the skull symbol. Symbol. Because what could possibly go wrong? Oh boy. There's a lot of zombies down here. Whatever it is, not worth dealing with this crowd. What on earth? I thought it was a penguin. I thought that was a penguin. Yes, every now and then, Lesley can be a wise man. He doesn't bother with whatever that skull was and continues up the main strip instead, passing the chicken shop and the crepe shop and driving into another crowd of zombies. Oh my god, it's busy here. This was a mistake. This was a mistake. Get me out of here. It's too late in the day. 3 o'clock already. Don't have my machete out. Another wise decision. Lesley is full of wise decisions today. Lesley and Rod scarper up the road and find a more quiet place to stop. Right, this is a little bit more chill. He clears out a few more zombies and then starts to prepare dinner. Project Zomboid is really pushing Lesley to the limit, suggesting that he add bleach to his food. Why is it suggesting that I add bleach? Like, I don't want to add bleach, thank you. After dinner, he does some early evening foraging, finds only zombies, then returns once more to the sweet stinky belly of the RV. It's time for a book and for bed. What a few days. Lesley just needs a bit of time to chill out and recuperate, which is really the plan for the next couple of days. We return with Lesley on day 63 of his 100 days of nomad living. The world is growing darker, the trees are thicker, and Lesley's mind is getting weary. These few days are all dedicated to improving his quality of life, starting with Rod, his trusty Rod, and lover. First of all, he forages around in the bushes for bugs, takes on a world-geared horde of zombies, and at last, finally, God bless, he finds... box of screws. Yes! Yes, Lesley. With screws at last in his possession, he goes and grabs Rod to finally give the old beast some TLC. Tender, loving care. The surrounding area does have a small zombie problem, so Les spends a bit of time clearing out the ghouls. The bunny head is so funny. Just the way it plopped down. Gotta take that. The colour of the trees is so pretty at this time of year. Lesley remembers autumns long, long ago. What on earth? Zombie on the roof! Zombie on the roof! How have you ended up there, ma'am? How strange. How very strange. Alright, that's enough. Let's head back to the RV. We'll continue our nonsense tomorrow, where we begin bringing Rod back to life. Give him the love he deserves. Before bed, he adds the new blood-soaked rabbit head to his bedroom companions and then reads a book. On day 64, Lesley begins the day with a handful of berries. Then it's out off again to check the last set of warehouses before beginning the Rob therapy session. Les, being Les, forgets to carry his tissue, so he sneezes, then has to slice his way through the zombies like he's playing Fruit Ninja. Of course, this is the 90s, and he doesn't know what Fruit Ninja is, but there's a voice whispering in his head about brightly coloured melons and a katana. Lesley is going mad, of course. Visions of the future.
After tearing the crowds apart, he investigates the car repair shop, but alas. So, nothing we wanted, like that goddamn magazine, but some bits and pieces. Disappointed in the car repair shop, Lesley returns to the RV to play with his dolls and make some scrumptious lunch. What did we make? Grape leaf and canned corned beef salad with thistle. Wow. Lesley, so fancy. Right, I've got a crowbar. Let's go pop open some of those garages, some of those storage things. He spends the afternoon busting open garages to find juicy loot inside. Moley the Mole, a new toy. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. When he returns to the RV, he makes a promise to himself that he will fix up and organise the inside of Rod's belly. Right, time to sort my life out. Wow, look at little Moley. Yes, what a cutie. Kind of looks like a human being. Right. This is quite a daunting task to begin to organise this, but let's do it. So, in here is all just books on this little shelf that we could replace with one of these. In here, a bomb suit, cigarettes, a metal sheet for some reason, some food for some reason. Wow, it is very confusing in here. Alright. But because he has apocalypse-induced ADHD and anti-OCD, he gets distracted by doing a bit of tailoring, then tidies up his bed so he can see the dolls and other toys better. At the end of day 64, the RV is not more organised, but at least his toys look very nice. Look at our little friends. Kinda nice. Oh, the bunny rabbit has a bloody face. That is horrible. Let me show you. Oh. Imagine sleeping next to that. Let's put the bra back on the badger. We need to put our dolls down before we can go to bed. Drink some soup for breakfast. Some cold soup straight out the fridge. Gross. Right. Put the book in the fridge. Yes, Lesley. These can all go. On day 65, he begins the day with a cold can of soup and then puts a book in the fridge. His organisation of the RV has started brilliantly. He needs some more metal sheets and bars, so he heads out with a propane torch to disassemble some metal fences. When he gets under the hood of Rod, he comes to a sudden, bizarre, brilliant discovery. Wait. Recipe. Intermediate. Mechanics. It says that I've got it. What? No way. I'm so confused. Lesley! Somehow, Lesley has learned the intermediate mechanics required to do work on Rod. Did we find the magazine in some haze? Did he learn it by some miracle? We will never know. Lesley Stump is an enigma. Oh my god, we just threw all the screws on the floor. That's going to be a nightmare, Les. Why'd you do that? You're going to have some spaghetti. What have you created? Canned bolognese roast. Well, I mean, all right, mate, you do you. It's a pretty strange thing you've come up with here, but crunchy, very crunchy. After a crunchy spaghetti roast, he finally begins doing work on Rod, replacing the muffler, some of the old worn tyres, and fixes up some of the windows and hood. While he's working, a group of zombies sneak up on him while in super fast mode, almost ending the run right there. Thankfully, Lesley has the reactions of a middle-aged cat. Oh my god. Oh my god, that made me jump so much. Where did you all come from? Oh man. I was just inflating my tyre. Oh, my heart. Scummy little zombies. I was in fast forward time as well. I could have died there. Jesus. Alright, I'm not fast forwarding again. A little shaken up after his run-in with the zombies, Lesley proceeds to travel through time at a normal pace, then heads inside for a breather and a cuddle with his new mole. He wakes up early on day 66, fixes up the tyres on Rod, and then admires the journey he's taken across Knox County so far. Wow, so he went from here, all the way around here, round here, round here, round here, round here, round here, round here, all the way down here, up here, round here. We've covered almost the entire map. The last destination. Louisville. Before he can get to Louisville though, it's time to head back to the crossroads so he can begin disassembling cars for more metal. He stumbles across a dead survivor on the way. Lovely jubbly. Right. Go check out this guy's stuff. Mint candy. Some painkillers. Hunting knife. Some butter. Some bullets. And she had sausages coming out of her belly. Human sausage. Lesley makes it to the crossroads and begins his work, and those old pals in the helicopter turn up to watch him, like he's in the Truman Show. Les now ignores the helicopter. If they won't rescue him, he won't acknowledge them. He does some more work on the vehicles, stops for some stew, then sits down on the ground outside the RV amongst the husks of ruined vehicles. He smokes a cigarette and watches the helicopter strafe side to side above him. Who are they, and why are they watching him? He heads inside for some sleep and dreams of helicopters. Day 67 is a foggy one. He spends the entire morning taking apart cars and repairing Rod. The RV is in better shape than ever, if just a combination of screws, metal bars and sheets, but Lesley loves it regardless. However, he is now out of screws again, so it's back out onto the open road they go. What sort of adventure awaits? Butter, bread, canned sardines. Oh dear, are you stuck under the trailer? Yeah, come back here then. You getting a good sniff of my trailer, were you? You little freak. You deserve to be put down. Lesley is not on the open road for long before total catastrophe almost strikes. Just watch this unfold. Oh. We just fixed Rod. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, we got scratched on the hand. That's why we're swinging so slowly. That was too close. Why did Lesley do that? Why did he get out of the RV next to a horde of zombies? Does he have a death wish, or is he just an idiot? Oh my god. Okay. Put the bandage on. Go sit with your toys, mate. Go sit with your toys and have a cigarette and just relax. So close to death. So close to death, Lesley. Why did you get out that side of the RV? It's my fault. It's my fault. You need to drink a beer. Lesley does what anyone would do in this situation. Get absolutely shit-faced. And a whole bottle of wine. Yup. Get it down here, Les. We're going to get drunk in the middle of the day. We need to get really drunk. We're going to drink 2 bottles of wine. Lesley almost died. I feel like getting drunk. Now he's utterly shit-faced. It's you and me against the world. I love you. I love you. Yeah, that's what Lesley says to his toys. He stumbles around the RV in the middle of the day looking for a book that doesn't exist and then gets out an axe to chop down the trees that almost got him killed. I don't recommend that you try to chop down trees when you're drunk. He is drunk, exhausted. He barely manages to read a book before bed and finally gets to rest on one of the scariest days of his entire life. Lesley wakes up on day 68 and makes a disgusting hangover breakfast of ketchup and sage and a sandwich. A sage sandwich. Not gonna lie, that sounds really actually disgusting. He gets his gear back on, then heads up the road to McCoy's logging, hopeful that today will be more productive and overall a little safer. He chops down some trees that are blocking the roads. There's nothing quite like manual labour to fix a hangover. It is also quite ironic that the road to their logging company is covered in trees. The logging factory is deserted and creepy. Wind whistles through the stacks of logs. A zombie growls somewhere that Lesley cannot see. He turns around and heads in the other direction. Then he spends the rest of the day investigating the main factory building, but it is largely empty and it doesn't have the screws he's looking for. A leek. I love leek. I love leek. And foraging. Foraging and leeks, man. A frog. We found a frog. Lesley's going to eat that frog. He forages on the way back to the RV and finds a frog, and then savagely slices the frog to pieces in the back. We're going to eat that frog right now. Oh, he's just going to slice it. Oh, kill it first, Lesley. Kill the frog first. Don't just slice it. Oh, God. Frog and leek stir fry. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds like it's going to be delicious. Frog and leek stir fry with lard. Oh, Lesley. Frog is very good. It can sometimes taste a bit sort of like a pond. But if you can get past that, delicious. A little bit of fried frog leg. Oof. Ooh. Lesley loves it. After his delicious frog stir fry, he puts up some more balloons in Rod to celebrate still being alive. The balloons and frog stir fry unfortunately don't do the business, and he still feels a bit sad. So he spends the rest of the evening and the morning of day 69, nice, reading comic books and magazines. He heads over to the next building and checks out inside. After a close call with another zombie bite, unfortunately Lesley doesn't find much of anything. After a largely unsuccessful trip to McCoy's, he grabs a leek roast for dinner, then jumps in the driving seat to continue their journey. Quite a lot of them just came through that window. Oh, leek roast with oil and butter and salt. Sounds really good, actually. Leek roast. There is just one more set of buildings to check out at McCoy's, and before bed, Lesley deals with the waves of zombies, reads a book, and then falls asleep. What a busy week with little old Lesley Stump. First up, it's straight into the warehouse to hunt for more screws. It's an excellent start. Box of screws, let's go! Let's kill this guy who's banging on the door because he's making my head hurt. In true Stump fashion, he starts rummaging around in the rubbish outside. A spatula in the rubbish pile. What is that? What is that? It is perfectly spherical. A golf ball. Axeman! Ski ba 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 da boop. We get a copyright strike for that. My impression is too good. Lesley also spends a bit of time foraging in the trees, thinking to himself and sniffing the leaves on the trees. They are turning red and he bathes in their majestic timber. Then he checks out the next warehouse. What a horrible place to go to the toilet. Gross. No screws though, unfortunately, in this warehouse, but still a pretty good haul, nonetheless. Let's make a tomato, roast tomatoes. Like we're in Italy. After lunch, Lesley sits on the floor of the RV and listens to constant worship. The dulcet tones of the preacher are a little unnerving, but Lesley can't turn it off. It's a faint reminder of the old world, as creepy as it is. Kind of a haunting sound. Not gonna lie. With God in his ears, it's time to hit the road again. The never-ending road stretches out in front of him. Exactly. Oops. Do not look at the map whilst driving, Lesley. Terrible idea, buddy. He drives and drives until he reaches a part of the highway that is covered in ruined cars. It's an okay place to stop for the night. But yeah, the engine's seen better days, which is why we're gonna take some engine parts out of these cars. Lesley extracts some engine parts from some of the cars to repair Rod's beautiful belly, then returns for a cold can of vegetable soup and a book before bed. Okay, now we're gonna read about foraging till about 10 o'clock. Day 71 begins with Lesley taking apart cars for metal and bits and bobs. Sweet bits, sweet bobs. Dismantling cars, and he's gonna stop for a smoke. My little Lesley. I love you, Lesley. Once a bunch of cars have been ripped apart by our beloved Lesley, he begins to repair various parts of Rod's body with the 200 screws acquired from McCoy's. This lasts most of the day, but it is necessary work. Snail. Slugging along, moving along. He decides to forage in the woods for lunch, as it is becoming one of his favourite pastimes. 3 wild eggs. Oh yes, Lesley. Delicious eggs, eggs, eggs! It's destiny. Or pine cones, not interested. Stop trying to seduce me, ma'am. I'm just looking for eggs. What can we cook with these eggs then? Prepare an omelette. Lesley is overjoyed to eat an egg. His first egg in months and months and months. And everyone knows that eggs are the ultimate form of food. After that delectable lunch, it's back to the toil and hard work for little Lesley. Tiring work this, isn't it, Les? Sorry, buddy. Just realised I haven't been wearing my welder mask. Very dangerous, kids. Do not do work involving welding on a car without wearing your welding mask. We're actually out of screws again, which is bonkers. We went through over 100 screws. Sheesh. Sit with your toys for a little bit, mate, and just have a cigarette. Lesley continues the grind into the early evening, then bashes a Christmas zombie's head in. Why was this fella dressed up as Santa in the middle of summer? We will never know. I'm not sure I want to know. A quite sizable group begins to gather, so instead of fighting them after a hard day's work, he jumps into Rod and drives off. Unfortunately, the road ahead is blocked. It's getting darker, and Lesley is even more tired than before, and it all devolves into a bit of a desperate struggle along the wreckage-strewn highway.
Alright, a little bit desperate. Just gonna calm down for a second. We're gonna have a little snack, because that was a little bit intense.
Thankfully, Lesley is just fine, if not a bit shaken up. He reads before bed, in the comfort of Rod's humming gut. Another morning, another day in the apocalypse.
Lovely smooth fit, that.
He drives on, then stops at another pile-up, checks out an unfortunately empty fuel tanker, kills some zombies, then pops back inside for a nibble on some luncheon. Here, Lesley comes to the realization that he is unable to make any sort of baked goods like a scrumptious pie, which leads to a random mission into the nearby trailer park to see if anyone has one sitting in their cupboard. He's also a little bit thirsty, so he's going to go drink from a toilet.
Hello folks, come on over. Go see if there's any snacks in the old food market. Rolling pin. Come on, rolling pin. A single rotten apple. And rolling pin. Crackers is okay though. I'll take your crackers. Not much here of much use, really. Reflect on our journey so far. Approaching 100 days, back where we started. The months are changing. Autumn is drawing in. The colour of the trees is changing. Lesley has come so far. He's killed almost 3,500 zombies. Quite impressive. No rolling pin in sight. But Lesley is obviously feeling a bit sentimental. It's been a long road. Sometimes the lack of a rolling pin really can just set you off. And read till 10 o'clock, like we do every night. He's a man of routine, is our little Lesley. Oh, it's a tight one, but just about. Another lovely morning. What can we have for breakfast? Some of that new stuff that we got yesterday, like, let's do some cooking. How's that looking? After brekkie, Lesley heads out for the day with the goal of doing some good old fishing up the road. He stops at the relatively peaceful gas station that he had previously cleared. He fills up, can't resist a little dance, then heads out again. I think if we repair it, its capacity will get bigger. So, once again, we are on the lookout for more screws. The endless quest to get more screws. Where's my wrench? Not gonna smoke a cigarette next to the gas pumps. This place seems fun. American Tire. Sounds like a mechanic shop, no? Who's this lovely fella? Hello, pal. Oh. Animal print bra, animal print bra. We're gonna take that right now. Yep. Okay. You can't see it, but that's fine. Probably best that way. Right, this place looks like it might be really useful. Hopefully. Okay, screws in here perhaps? Screwdriver? Riverside, room 28, waiting for you. Remember when we spent the whole day just staring at the river? Don't leave me alone here. I'm sure their story ended beautifully. Screws, to be honest. Box of screws? Box of screws? Yes! Now we can fix our trailer. That's excellent news. More screws. That is bloody brilliant. Thank you, American Tire. God, I really hit. Jesus, this is unpleasant. Yeah. Really pretty successful, that little journey. After a sketchy but overall pretty successful looting trip to American Tire, Lesley continues up the road until he reaches the bridge. Oh, perfect. There's wrecked cars here too. Alright, so the best way of doing this... Wow, there's quite a few to get through. I think we have enough propane. We could always go across the train bridge as well. And this is where we're going to stop for the night, so... It's Lesley's plan to cut through the cars on the bridge using the propane torch, and then use the materials to fix up the trailer. First of all though, he's in a bit of a bad way, so it's time to relax. Alright, well we're a little bit in minor pain, hot, bloody hot and drowsy.
20 to 6. I reckon we just build a fire. No, that is a really bad idea. Lesley, do not let those intrusive thoughts win. We're going to read the rest of our foraging book. Just get it done. And we're very tired, so we're going to have a little lie down and a little sleep. I knew that they were going to follow me in the night. After that mild jump scare that Lesley handled very well considering it's so early in the morning, he begins to dismantle the wrecks on the bridge to clear a path. He uses the materials to repair the trailer and, well, Lesley is clearly an idiot for not doing this sooner. We live and we learn, don't we, Stump? Whoa, it jumped up to 484 capacity. Oh my. But that is a massive, massive upgrade. My God. Oh my God, there's so much more room in there. Should have done that ages ago. Oh, Lesley! With the trailer repaired, it's time to fish. Lesley is a terrible fisherman, if you remember correctly, so he fishes for the rest of the entire day and doesn't catch a single thing. He returns to the RV dejected, but he will try and try again, for he is Mr. Lesley Stump. Caught anything yet, mate? No. Drink a beer after a very unsuccessful day fishing. Try fishing down here instead. He decides to change places on day 74 and try on the other side of the bridge. Maybe the fish prefer it over there. And it turns out, they do indeed. Yes, we caught a small catfish and other small fish. Yes, Lesley. Alright, that was actually a little bit more successful. We caught some fish. Have a celebratory cigarette. Oh, I think that's level 10 foraging, you know, guys. As well. It is. Look at that. Foraging Meister. Lesley slices up the fish, starts to prepare a meal, and then puts the rest of the fillets into the small freezer. He can't wait to dig into this meaty, fleshy little fish. Tasty, yummy fish and canned corn roast. It's more like it, Les. Got to catch some more fish tomorrow, really, because 2-3 fillets isn't really enough. I wonder if you can make your own fishing rod. I feel like you should be able to. I used to make fishing rods when I was a kid, so you'd assume that you'd be able to do such a thing. He eats, he savours the fish, it is delicious. Then he heads out for a little early evening fish to see if any of the critters are on the way to various nightclubs and or late night eateries and wouldn't mind getting stabbed in the back with Lesley's trusty fishing spear. He lands a big pike, so it was worth it in the end. Got a big pike, 95 centimetre pike. Wow. While prepping his massive fish, Lesley notices something else totally groundbreaking. Something so obviously, so painfully clear to him now that he feels like a total pipe wrench. He can plumb the sink in the RV. So it's telling me that I can plumb the sink. If this means that I can get rainwater, I'm going to freak out that I haven't done this before. Oh no, that is the case, isn't it? It's okay, we live and we learn, Lesley. Oh my God. No way. Oh no. Lesley, you're an idiot. Oh, good God. Oh dear. Go to sleep, Lesley, you goddamn idiot. Although Lesley feels like an idiot on the morning of day 75, he quickly puts it behind him and celebrates with the delicious beer soup. Wouldn't you? Beer, fish, and grape leaf soup. Well, don't mind if I do. Wow, this has been a really peaceful couple of days for Lesley. He's just living the good life, really. Oh, random gunshots in the distance. Keeps hearing gunshots as he yet to see a single person alive. Maybe they're just figments of his imagination. Oh, he's really slurping that up. After slurping up the beerlicious soup, he's back out on the river, hunting another trophy catch. Nice, small sunfish, a big pike, the biggest fish we've ever caught, 103 centimeters on that bad boy. Look at all of that. A ton of fish. That's more than enough to keep us fueled up for the coming days, I think. Excellent work, Les. Getting pretty mean with that old spear of yours. Oh my God, I've just realised I've left the oven on. That could have been an absolute disaster, Lesley. You left the oven on all day. Oh my God, the whole RV could have exploded, Lesley. Oh my God, can you imagine? Oh, even thinking about that makes me feel extremely sick. Right, slice all fillets, please. Thankfully, Rod did not explode in a glorious fireball while Lesley was still out fishing, and thankfully he still has somewhere to live. He falls asleep and has nightmares about spontaneous combustion. He wakes up on day 76 and instantly runs into a problem. There's a truck in the way. So begins a fairly tedious process of dismantling the concrete slabs on the side of the bridge. But eventually, Lesley does get it out of the way by hot wiring it and putting a bit of fuel in. He returns for some tasty lunch. Then he spies a caravan on the other side of the bridge, so he hops over and removes the bed from inside. Lesley is sick and tired of sleeping on a sofa. He brings the bed back to the RV, then takes a little bit of time to decorate his new sleeping arrangements. Wow, we actually have a bed. That's so good. So cool. Now we can put down our wrinkles here. Put down our bunny head here. Putting the bra on the badger. Doesn't really work, unfortunately. Let's just cover the badger and... he was our first friend. Let's just cover him in underpants and bras and stuff. There we go. Well, that is sinister as hell. There's our sleeping partner, Wrinkles. Hello, Wrinkles. Amazing. So cute. Lesley Stump is living the dream. He lounges on his new bed with his old friends and smokes a cigarette and drinks a beer at 1 PM. Dreamy. He leaves the RV running because the battery went a bit flat after the oven fiasco, then washes himself in the river. Lesley is absolutely knackered, so he heads to bed early because he was starting to get a little sad. We're back with Lesley on day 77 of his 100-day adventure. We're nearing the end of the story, and will Lesley make it? Let's find out. We join our hero on the road to Louisville. He stops in the road to check out a news van and pulls the expensive camera equipment out of the back. He wants to make a special kind of video, but it doesn't work, so he rips the camera to pieces with his bare hands. Trust us. Eh? Oh, I think it's like an extremely expensive camera. I can't put it down, unfortunately. But maybe Lesley could make some home videos with his pet friends. What do you think? I don't think we should encourage that kind of behaviour, so we're gonna just rip that apart. He takes a small detour off the main road to explore the woods. Yeah, we do. The country roads take me home. Drag racing. A drag racing track. Lesley stumbles across a drag racing track in the woods, and while Rod is healthier than ever, Lesley decides it's probably not a good idea to test the old boy too much. That's what I was looking for. A little garage there. Could be useful. Some useful stuff in there. Oh, never mind, I take it back. That's the exact mechanics book we're missing. Thank you, drag racers. Mechanics Volume 4 in hand, Lesley continues down the track to the next set of buildings. Oh, that was a tiny tree that I managed to just about miss. Don't crawl under my trailer, you idiot. Where are these guys getting this fresh bread from? Is there a bakery out there? I assume they're not making it on the road. You know what that means, though? We can have a delicious fish sandwich later for lunch, I think. He continues on and pauses for a moment to soak in the afternoon light dappled through the forest. It's beautiful and peaceful, and the calm before the storm of Louisville. Beautiful trees. Oh, it's a fun area to explore that I haven't been to before. There's a lot of cowboys around. Easily dispatched. Let's have a look, shall we? See if there's any guns at this shooting range. You would assume. What are you? You're like some kind of... I'm not actually sure what you are. Kind of in fancy dress. Amazona. Whoa. Fresh pepperoni. And pancakes? What on earth? A fish? Ginger root? Hunting knife? Amazona feather. Cool. I've got this little feather thing on my head now. It's cute. It's very cute. Very, very cute. Okay, smoke a cig, mate. Looking extremely fetch with his new feather, Lesley investigates the shooting range but doesn't find much except another box of screws and a propane tank. Looters have already been through this area probably a long time ago. Before bed, he makes a pepperoni and grape leaf sandwich, and then falls asleep. On the morning of day 78, Lesley nibbles on the leftover sandwich, then pulls off this slick maneuver with Rod. What a maneuver! Good stuff, Les. On the way out, Rod notices another Amazona warrior in the group. He has to stop and take a look. Wow, so cool. I think we got a new cloak too. That's better than the one we're currently wearing. We're going to go for the double cloak. Oh, now that's nice. Ooh. Got a new hip bag too. And we are looking sexy, Lesley. Decked out in his snazzy new gear, Lesley turns into the hunting lodge parking lot. There could be all kinds of treasures inside. Oh. Really hoping I could get through there. Knob Creek. Zombies dispatched and knob jokes made, Lesley heads into the lodge to see what he can find. Hello there. Goodbye. It's very cozy in here, isn't it? I definitely want the deer trophy for the van. He does take the deer head trophy and doesn't find much else. And when he heads outside, some old friends appear in the sky. Excellent driving, Lesley. Oh god. Quite a lot of zombies here though. As expected, the closer he gets to Louisville, the more the zombie numbers increase, and the helicopter gets much more annoying. Lesley sticks his middle finger up at the helicopter through Rod's open window. Oh boy. But Lesley Stump is no coward. Not anymore. He jumps from the RV with his machete and goes to town on the horde. He wants peace. He wants peaceful fish sandwiches in the back of his beloved RV, and no stinking zombies are going to take that from him. Ooh. The battle rages on for most of the afternoon. In the near distance, a machine gun rat-a-tat-tats. It sounded very close. Eventually, Lesley deals with the last two zombies on the road, and can return for that scrumptious fish sandwich that he'd been dreaming of all day. He rests on the sofa for a moment after the bloodshed, blood-drenched and exhausted. Lesley goddamn Stump. Oh my good god. Okay, welcome to Louisville, I guess. Jesus Christ, okay. Lesley has arrived in Louisville. Can you tell? And this is just the outskirts. It's going to get a lot worse than this for little old Lesley, but he's prepared and stronger than ever. To be able to pop inside Rod, he needs to kill all the zombies nearby, so he gets to it. As a little distraction, he puts up the deer head on the wall. It looks amazing. Nice. That looks amazing. Then it's back out to kill more zombies. This will become a bit of a running theme of Lesley's life. He is finally getting revenge on these fleshy little freaks. Lesley kills zombies until almost lunchtime, and all that slicing has made Lesley a very hungry man. Yeah, I need to get something to eat. Won't eat this now then, because we might actually explode in a poopy mess. We'll die! He eats what he can before he explodes into a pile of goo, then puts the food into his new front pouch, like some kind of cannibal kangaroo, then continues to slice and dice his way up the road to Louisville proper. It's slow but methodical work, and Lesley has all the time in the world. There's no need to rush in the apocalypse. Okay. Soldiers. A lot of army soldiers here. Army soldiers. It's like I'm 6 years old. My army soldiers. Lesley takes out most of Kentucky's armed forces nearby, then clears out the lot. Just keep taking out some of these zombies that are, Take a look inside this warehouse then, shall we? A hit. Whoa! That is ninja zombie. Sounds like there's quite a lot of them up there. What they were doing up there? Hiding, I guess. Oh! Wow, that really made me jump. There's something about warehouses that just really freak Lesley out. So he grabs a few bits and pieces and heads back outside. They're cold and empty and lifeless, like being inside of a zombie's head. Quite enough for one day, I think. We can just relax. And relax he does. Good night, little Lesley. Right. We're going to approach on foot. So I think this place is going to be pretty lit. Get my tissue ready. Get Lesley's tissue ready. Or soldiers. Army of the dead. Day 80's plan is to make his way towards the military checkpoint, which he reckons is just up the road. It's the gateway to Louisville and is likely infested with zombies. He takes them out on the way to clear a path for Rod. God, the machete's so good. Really is. So good. Such a good weapon. Wow, absolute chaos here. Wonder what happened. Must have been a total disaster. A lovely tissue out of the back of a van. Lovely. I love the idea that someone was bringing their tanker to the military checkpoint. After pondering on the nutcase that brought their tanker of whiskey to the military checkpoint, Lesley sneaks into the base.
We'll have to move those roadblocks out of the way if we want to bring Rod in here.
After clearing out a few more zombies in the general area, Lesley backtracks to pick up Rod and bring the RV closer.
The butcher of Louisville smokes a cigarette.
Lesley, being Lesley, stuffs his face with pancakes the moment he gets back to Rod.
Pancakes? Yes, please. Oh, we ate too many pancakes, Lesley. Now you feel a bit poorly.
He drives Rod up to the roadblock. He has to cut down a few trees to actually get through.
To avoid situations like we've experienced before, we're going to hop out and deal with these zombies here. He's a little bit thirsty, so he'll have a little sip of Rod's juice. I'd like some juice, please, Rod. Give me some of your sweet juice.
Thank you, honey.
Lesley is losing his mind. Oh, that's very satisfying. Lesley is just absolutely screaming his head off. Screaming. Come to me.
Now Rod is within the gated area and it's safe to pop inside. Lesley has some dinner.
Dry ramen noodles and fish stir-fry with olive oil. That sounds just delectable, Lesley. You really are becoming quite the little chef. He's in pain again. He keeps eating too much. I love this routine of Lesley eating meals and then having painkillers immediately afterwards because he's eating too much food.
After dinner and before bed, Lesley does a wee bit of tailoring to pad up his new Amazona cloak.
Wow, Lesley really needs a wash, doesn't he? He's absolutely filthy. Oh, filthy little Lesley. Covered in blood and gore and mud and dirt and filth. Let's give Badger a tie. He's got a big interview in the morning. Oh, it's disappeared. Lost forever into Lesley's bed. With God knows what else is in there.
With Badger dressed appropriately for his big day, Lesley heads out on the morning of day 81 to start clearing out the base and looting some tents.
What on earth are you? Ugh. What on... What? Looks like an ood. Some kind of alien creature. Not only did he take out a handful of noodles with his bare hands, he then just stuffed the rest of the noodles directly into his pocket. Lesley.
Noodles in his pocket, nice and warm on his leg, Lesley begins upgrading his bag. It looks sick.
Oh, now we have a balloon. Oh, well, we're gonna have to use this, aren't we? Oh, we can take Badger with us too. Boris can come with us. Oh, Lesley, how can you be depressed? Look what we've created for you. Take those antidepressants and buck up, Lesley. Look, Boris has come with us, our lucky good luck charm. Let's drive the RV in, shall we? Imagine if you saw this maniac walking towards you in the apocalypse with a balloon and a badger. Completely lost his mind, our little Lesley. Completely lost his mind.
Lesley begins looting here and there, but doesn't find much to begin with, and he gets peckish again, of course.
Just taking it nice and slow. We're going to do all of Louisville like this, basically. Otherwise, Lesley will die. And we don't want Lesley to die, do we? Not really. Have another fish stir-fry whilst we're here. With ginger.
Full up with fish, he begins looting more of the military tents. He finds a medical tent with supplies inside and a bunch of armour and bullets in a few of the different tents, but no real big hauls, like a nice weapon or anything. Lesley takes a moment to admire himself in the back of the RV. He's looking very snazzy, and then he goes to sleep on day 81, full with optimism.
Check out a few more of these tents. See what goodies lay inside. Guns, please.
On day 82, Lesley's back at it, and he comes to the realisation that he's probably wearing just too many clothes.
Problem is that we're, permanently encumbered because we're just wearing so many clothes. We're wearing both cloaks right now, Les. I can even see your beautiful little eyes now, Lesley. Apparently this army was just about looking good rather than actually killing zombies. Which might explain why they're all dead. I feel like this backpack would be hugely impractical. Zombies would definitely grab hold of it. Just eat the noodles out of the back of the trailer, Les. Trailer noodles. Going to talk into it. Just going to say, hello, my name's Lesley Stump. I'm the last man on Earth and I've completely lost my mind. Do you like my balloon? And then he's going to rip the camera up with his bare hands. Destroy it, Lesley. Destroy it. And we're going to read a couple of hours before bed.
Day 82 passes in a bit of a confused blur. Just know that Lesley looted all of the tents and found almost nothing of value except some snazzy new gear. On day 83, he moves into the camping area and pillages some propane from various barbecues dotted around.
Oh, this car is gorgeous.
Little burger van set up. Oh, well, that's just tragic, isn't it? Hello? I'd like a burger, please. Gravy mix, though. Oh, Lesley. You love gravy, don't you, Lesley? Gravy. Lesley is a gravy man. Always has been, always will be. He sets off again up the road to see what awaits him. So the slaughter of Louisville begins. That wasn't so bad. We are a little bit exhausted, though. Make gravy. Yes! We're going to have a bowl of gravy for lunch. Yes! Cold gravy. Mmm. Yummy. Get it in your son. Go check out Spiffos for more ketchup. I'm just going to raid every Spiffos on the map. Eat every bottle of ketchup available in town. So much ketchup. Leslie's going to have a ketchup bath. You have more ketchup for me, ma'am. I like your glasses. Knocked them right off your face. Let's keep moving, Les. Deeper and deeper into the spider's web of Louisville. Lesley passes the hospital, but decides that's the last place he ever wants to be, so he keeps on moving. Oh boy, here's the whole gang. Someone there having a little nibble. There are zombies everywhere. Lesley expected this, of course, but he still wants to be safe, so he heads north towards the river, where he hopes there might be fewer zombies. Still a little busy. Lesley is tired now also. The fight outside the mansion is a little desperate. Lesley is very tired, and the spear is heavy in its hands. Oh god, quite a few down there. Might have to sleep in this house tonight. To stay safe and live for another day, another week, to reach that illustrious 100-day goal, he retreats into the mansion and finds a quiet room with a big bed to sleep in. Good job, Lesley. You're still alive. Oh, that didn't go to plan. And good morning, Lesley. What a disgusting place that you spent the night. Let's go check if there's any zombies outside. Yes. Yes, there are zombies outside indeed. Armed with his Amazonas spear, he clears out the zombies with ease. Okay. I love this fountain. Imagine if we could put this fountain in, Rod. Pink frilly underwear. Now that is a colour that we haven't seen for a while, so let's take them. Underwear in hand, oh dear Lesley, he kills a few more zombies and returns to Rod. We'll put the underwear in Mr. Wrinkle's mouth. Yeah. Lesley listens to the new CD he found inside the mansion. The music is lovely, although it kind of just sounds like someone going, I don't know if she loves me, if only she could see me, laughing and dancing in the sun. Oh dear. Lesley, don't cry. Keep it together. Your smile, your kiss. Ah, poor Lesley. He can't even listen to that actually. It's making him far too sad. Tears in his eyes, thinking about the rotten faces of people he used to love. Lesley investigates a few more of the mansions along the river. The zombie population is low here and it gives him a bit of space and time to explore, gather supplies and hunt for a rolling pin. He really wants a cake. But no, nothing of any use, so let's go down to the river and have a wash on their little dock. Lesley stands on the blue river and washes himself with his bare hands. His face is crusty with dried gore and he is a little sore. 3 months he's lived and succeeded on the road with Rod. The 100-day mark is just around the corner. Nice. All washed up. He stops for a bite to eat, a delicious fish roast, then drives Rod up the road a little further, inching towards the chaos of Louisville. How are we today? You look like a fun bunch. You've got wearing matching outfits. Very cute. Very cute. Lesley goes from house to house, mansion to mansion, taking it slowly. How do you think he survived this long? Slowly, slowly, like a slug. Wonder if the gate will open for me. It does. Right, let's bring the RV in here. This looks like a snug little spot to spend the night. Nice, safe and sound. What a lovely spot this would be to set up your life, Lesley. Maybe this is where we come back to. Mr. Stump has been dreaming of bigger things. This mansion with its big garden and walled fence does look pretty good. But it's not that he's outgrown Rod, but settling down with a garden and a few new friends to keep him busy. Yes, Lesley Stump is dreaming of another life. But for now, the road is calling him, and he settles down for the night. Organised. Organised. Strange word, that is. Cool, so he's drowsy, moist, anxious, pain, stuffed, unpleasantly hot. Let's get you a ciggy, mate. On day 85, Lesley investigates a nearby apartment block that is extremely large and teeming with zombies. The sounds of their door bashing and grumbling are like war drums, and Lesley decides that whatever is inside is probably not worth his life. Whoa, what is this building? It's massive. What is this place anyway? I can hear so many zombies. Looks like it's just built like apartments. Oh my god, I can hear so many zombies in there. I think it's just an apartment block. That is full of zombies. Wow, I can hear so many of them. That is actually a horrifying sound, so I think we're just going to skip. Alright, Les, it's time to leave our beautiful home by the river. My beautiful home, my beautiful wife. And off he trundles along the river towards the industrial quarter of Louisville. There are more zombies in his path, quite a few actually, but Lesley is a trained warrior at this point and he deals with them very handily. A string of zombies defeated there. Just clear out a little bit more of the area. Lesley investigates the map, which does come with a key, but the poor old bloke is colourblind, and he can't tell his yellows apart. Fun fact, I am also colourblind. He decides to go and just have a look. However, the tall fence and the sound of growling zombies on the other side means Lesley is more curious in the bugs and veggies in the grass on this side of the fence instead. He doesn't want to jump over and die. He doesn't want to die. Yeah, bugs. Lesley is obsessed with bugs. With a pocket full of bugs, he eats lunch, then drives up to this glorious looking house with 3 large garages. He can't help but take a look. Unfortunately, the wealthy owners from beyond the grave turned on their house alarm before they perished, and suddenly every dead rich zombie nearby descends on him. Lesley, you could live here. Oh. Well, I guess that makes sense. Oh boy. That could cause a massive issue. Oh boy. Okay. Lesley decides to drive a little up the road to get away from the main crowd. I thought it was going to draw them away from me, but then I drove my RV past them all. Okay. Oh, Jesus, okay. Okay. We survived. Covered in blood, stood in a pool of blood, Lesley has killed all the zombies. Then he heads into the RV for a lie down with a new yellow friend. He smokes a cig and has a handful of wild sunflower seeds he found earlier. Good night, Lesley. On day 86, Lesley sticks some nails in a baseball bat and heads out into the fog. It's terrible weather and he doesn't want to venture too far, so he just checks out some nearby mansions instead. Oh, that underhand swing is... Rolling pin. Nice. The surrounding area is eerily quiet in the fog, and he does find a rolling pin, so he's actually in a pretty good mood. A rotten sausage. That's what Lesley's friend used to call him in school. Lesley Rotten Sausage Stump. He's glad they're all dead, of course. Throwing caution to the fog, which has begun to thin a bit, he pulls into the lot of the distillery just up the road. What's this place? Full of zombies is what it is, but what? Distillery? Oh, Lesley. We're gonna get crunk. Lesley, stop getting crunk. I wonder what's in the distillery, Lesley. Distillery. Booze, hopefully. Oh, I see the booze. Oh goodness, hello. Lesley investigates the distillery but can't find where the storage room is. He does, however, arrive back at Rod with a bunch of plants to fill the back of the stinky RV. Lesley hopes they will cleanse the air of dirty underwear, fish, and beans. Sure. Where can we put our bonsai tree? Don't really have much room, do we, Les, really, to be honest? Okay. Yeah, it's on the edge of the counter. Nice, we're turning it into a little jungle in here now. Okay. I'm all for it, Les. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Depressed? How can you be depressed, Lesley? We just got some new plants. Actually, is it time at last to read Hotties? Yes. We're going to leave Lesley in peace for a second here whilst he reads his magazine. Magazine. Yeah, just reading a normal magazine. I love that it just disappears once you've read it. He's still depressed, so, I mean, I don't really know what to do about that. After Lesley reads his special magazine, he feels suddenly extremely tired, so he heads to bed relatively early after a bit of reading. On day 87, things get a little weird. In reality, the footage was corrupted, just didn't record, which is sad, but also kind of a miracle that we got this far. My first time ever doing this, and we managed to see every waking second of Lesley's life. It's just also a shame that the part of the story that you missed here was kind of crazy. He managed to set himself on fire with a Molotov cocktail, which, as you will see, well, I'm not going to say too much. I think you should probably just watch the next and final days of the 100 days. You probably missed about 4 or 5 days. He set himself on fire and then he had to sit and heal in the RV. So you didn't really miss that much. Mostly just Lesley lying around in his own filth, covered in Molotov cocktail burns, reading books and eating fish. So pretty much just what Lesley does anyway. But yeah, some missing days. God damn it. Enjoy this last few days. Oh dear, some of the days got deleted there, but thankfully mostly what you missed was Lesley just sitting in the back of the RV, because he burned himself with a Molotov cocktail. A bit like, well, should we try again? Do we try again? Yes, we try again. I'm going to demonstrate what you missed by doing it again, and the hopes that this doesn't actually... Well, let's move the RV out of the way first. So last time, I think the Molotov cocktail just exploded in his hand when he tried to throw it, but this time, that didn't happen. Fantastic. I'm hoping that it just burns down now, or not. That was actually just quite pathetic, Lesley. You pathetic little man, Lesley. Oh well, as you can see, we probably covered, I don't know, 4 or 5 days to be honest. Lesley's at day 96 something. It's almost day 100. Means we've got to drive further into town. So yes, sorry about that, but we rejoin a fit and fighting and pathetically useless Lesley trying to demonstrate what happened to him with the faulty Molotov cocktail. He was burned on the leg, so he could barely move. Now he makes his way into the deepest, darkest parts of industrial Louisville. There's nothing here of any use, and for some reason he just wants to set it on fire. Just when you thought Lesley goddamn Stump couldn't be any more useless, the worst happens. Again. I do want to set these on fire. Lesley is sort of, Oh, he did it again. Well, okay, yeah. He did it again. The Molotov explodes at his feet. His head is burned. He is in extreme agony. The flames spread. Zombies chase him. He hurriedly bandages his arm, but he should have bandaged his burned head. He doesn't have any more rip sheets on him, and he's too slow to rip his clothes up. The zombies chase him. Hold it. It is only because of Lesley Stump's high nimble skill that he is able to outrun them when he uses his weapon. If he didn't have it, he would already be dead. It happened again. We shouldn't mess around with Molotov cocktails anymore. He cannot bandage his head. He has no bandages, no ripped sheets. The zombies surround him. Our poor Lesley Stump begins to deal with the hard truth of his own mortality. He is not a hero, he is just a stinky man. Oh god. I think Lesley's gonna die. I think he's gonna die. Oh no. Lesley. Lesley. His health bar falls ever lower and lower and lower. Lesley is in agony. He swings his hammer valiantly. Lesley, Lesley, Lesley. He shuffles through the woods, thinking, I am a massive idiot. Lesley. Lesley. He manages to lead them around the side of a building. The fire spreads and eats it, but the crowd of zombies is thinning. His health is low, but he's still breathing, raggedly, but still alive. More zombies approach from the river. Lesley goddamn Stump does not give up easily. Not rotten sausage Stump. Not Lesley, our underwear-loving hero. The final zombie falls, and he hurriedly rips up his Calvin Klein bra that he put on earlier for some reason. Okay. Oh, Lesley. Okay. We need to get back to the RV now. Oh my god. Oh my god. I really hope the RV hasn't been burned to the ground by the Molotov cocktail. Oh, did you hear the panic in my voice? Oh god. That whole place is on fire. If I didn't have high-level nimble there, we were dead. Please be okay, Rod. Please be okay. Although Lesley is alive, he's in a bad way, and now all we can think of is his beloved Rod and dear brother RV, toasted alive because of his own stupidity. Oh, look at our health. It's okay. Rod is okay. Just keep going. Just keep going. We're back to where we came. Smoke a cigarette and relax for a second, Lesley. Oh. It's okay, it's just a couple of lacerations. We did get a burn on our head though, which is hardly good. Well, just so you know, this actually already happened. So I was just simply repeating the same disaster for you with the footage that you missed. Oh god, Lesley. He's still okay. He's still okay. It seems fitting that Lesley would almost be the one to end his run in such a stupid way. Not only did he repeat the same mistake, he did it mere days after the previous Molotov cocktail attempt. It seems fitting that he would spend the next few days in the run-up to the wonderful 100-day Nomad adventure finale sitting in the back of the RV, sitting in silence, pondering on his life, his existence, and the 3 months leading up to this brush with death. It seems fitting for Lesley to end the 100 days where he began, sat in a pile of shit in the back of his beloved RV. Oh, Lesley. Ah. Oh, we're almost there. It's almost 100 days. Feels sort of like a, you know, not a bit of an anticlimax, but it seems very fitting for Lesley. After a while, Lesley has nothing left to do. He is extremely injured, in massive pain, and has no books to read or VHSs to watch. So he just lies there and rod and thanks the universe that he is still alive and that he will make it to 100 days. Just about. Lesley Stump falls asleep and then wakes up on that fateful day. And there we have it. Day 100. And, as if by magic, oh no, one of them's gone. Just his head, just his thigh is still damaged, which means he's going to walk slowly, but his head burn is fixed on day 100. Right then. You can move faster now, which is good. We're going to grab some white wine. Slightly foggy day. Foggy, miserable day. The weather's changing. It's cold. Cold today. Gonna walk out here. Somehow climb over. Nice one. Gonna sit by the river. Just think about everything that we've been through. Lesley. We'll give Rod a kiss. Go on, give him a kiss. Mwah. Mwah. There we have it. We did it. We made it. We made it to the end. Lesley Stump, 100 days. 83 kilograms. 4,490 kills. Favourite weapon with the machete. Oh, Lesley. What an adventure. What an adventure. And I don't think it's over. Not quite yet. There's still a lot for you to learn and to achieve, little Lesley. So I imagine I will see you next time, where Lesley's adventure continues.